That's pretty damn good. We're live, by the way, folks.
Live.
And he must have just got the notification, been like, "Oh shit, it's time." It's none other than Wild Bill.
Then
What's up,
Bill
guys?
of the Wild World.
How we
Happy
doing?
fucking St. Paddy's Day.
What's up? Happy
Leave
St.
it
Paddy's
Irish,
Day,
you
everybody.
fucker.
We
The
have,
newest entrant to the MAKB knockout tournament, Wild Bill, and the final entry for the field of 48.
Hey,
That's
he's
right.
the one that got us there.
I said I would do it.
Yep.
I love it. We've got people already coming in. A couple of comments. Is this supposed to be T3 Maple or Temple? Says hello. Welcome.
Probably
Welcome.
Temple.
St. Patty's Day. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I got coffee.
Cheers.
I got water.
It's coffee.
Hey,
This
Bobby,
is
you
piss.
still getting an echo?
No. What'd you
Logo
do?
placement.
I changed earbuds. My dog ate my good ones the other night. So
Oh, that's perfect, man. No, it sounds great, Cody.
Bobby,
I love
can
it.
I
They
Can
fell
I
into
just-
a piece of pepperoni.
I swear, look, here they are right here. Look. She chewed the fuck
Oh,
out of
yeah.
them. You
Hell
jackass.
yeah,
Look
she
at
did.
her.
Bobby, can I
Yes.
go right into what I wanted to talk to Cody about real quick?
Yeah, go for it. Take the Jesus, take the wheel.
Cody,
Hey,
Oh,
Delirious
God.
Billy, what's up, boys? What's going
What's
on,
up,
fellas?
brother?
Oh, dude.
All right.
Cody, I got a question for you. I want to run something by you because me and Bobby have been tossing around ideas of how exactly we want to bring you in on the show to tell stories, right? So I figured it out today on the drive back from the kids' swim lessons. We're going to do Cody's story slot machine, okay? Bobby hasn't even heard this yet. It's going to have 3 columns, just like a regular slot machine, but instead of like symbols or dollar signs or any shit like that, one category is going to be animals. One category is going to be chemical additives.
Okay.
And the other
perfect.
category is going to be law enforcement. And however it lines up, you have to tell a story because I know you've got it involving, let's say,
I got all 3 in
yeah.
spades.
raccoons, mescaline, and federal law enforcement. You know what I mean? We're just you'll be like, okay, I got that. 1996. Let me tell you about it.
I got some good Fed stories. I got some good DNR shit for you.
See,
DNR is going to be huge for our audience. I'm just saying. DNR will probably go over a whole lot further than almost any other organization. I think DNR will probably be the most popular.
Yeah, those
alcohol,
guys
white
used to hate
perch,
me.
DNR. Go.
Got it.
I love it. So, Sean, question though. Are we going to do are we going to do the drawing beforehand and then let him know ahead of time so he can remember these things? Or are we just going to record this live and it's fly by the seat of our pants?
I was making a comedic routine right there. I actually had no intention of doing that to the man.
I was
Because-
looking for graphics so that we can incorporate, visuals.
We could do because
I
these
got
stories.
people at MGM Springfield. Like we can make this happen.
we could make the a graphic afterwards. I think because most of the stories are going to have all those 3 elements in them. It wouldn't be a
That's
big
true.
deal. So we
That's
could do
true.
that.
I love it. So we got a bunch of people in here. We've got, I know Lauren, I saw Lauren earlier. We got Swamp Rat watching on YouTube. We've got Derek from 3 Bells watching on Facebook. Roadkill Nick is on YouTube. Nelson, Jighead Nelson says, you got Shags on there. Yeah, we do.
Nelly.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. There's some stuff going on. And then we've got Gravy Fishing watching on Facebook as well. Good stuff, man. I'm excited. 16 people already watching. This is
Gravy out in
craziness.
Spencer.
So let's talk about open water fishing. Who's been out so far? And tell me a little bit how's it been going. I've been out and I've got nothing to report.
Fuck y'all.
I tried to get out today. That's why this is still on my hat.
Saturday.
The last 2 days really fucked things up. We went down to like
cold
20
is
degrees.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know.
It's been
One of
garbage.
those spots I was at today. You cross the road. It's 2 spots, and on the on the south side, it was icing over as I was there. But I mean, obviously, it's not going to last, but it definitely screws up the bite.
Lauren's asking us, "Where's Howie for this?" Unfortunately, at the moment, Lauren, I need Howie to run my camera over here, which basically means that he's doing narcotics, drinking, and
He's in the loo.
Yeah. This is totally locked out. Like I can't. I need camera left. No, nothing.
I actually met him, and he's a nut.
He is a nut.
He's got a club foot too.
3X's Fishing says Nate's got a hole.
Don't we all?
I don't know. I'd hope so, man. That shit would hurt. And then we got Roadkill Nick jumping in here again. Says the Jigs and Bigs hoodie looks nice. I'm going to have to get one. I recommend it. I just restarted the campaign for the t-shirts, and I think Rachel bought one. Somebody else bought another. And then a couple people bought hats today. So the old Jigs and Bigs store is still live. We're just working on getting the new one up and running. And you know, if you guys want to get your swag, make it happen. Oh, you're talking about this, Nick. Oh, this is some executive shit right here. That's not available, but it is a good prequel to what will be on the new store. That's good. But the hats and the OG hoodies are still on there as well.
That shit's fancy you got on.
And this is exactly what we're all thinking right here. Gravy jumps in and says, being loud and ripping Newports. It's exactly it. I had to work that into the title of this week's show, Cody. I had to.
I could give a fuck, buddy. Give a fiddler's fuck.
Right there, just 2 catchphrases were born. You're a machine, Cody. I mean, seriously, I laughed so hard when you said, I'm out on the porch ripping Newports and being loud. It was perfect. It was so perfect. That's some t-shirt shit right there. If you start doing merch, I mean, that's it right there.
Speaking of which, it's funny you mentioned that, Sean. There's somebody had come. I forget who it is, and I apologize for forgetting. Somebody it might have been Roadkill Nick, actually, now that I think about it. But he mentioned something about doing merch that had ripping Newports and being loud and getting loud as a Jigs and Bigs slogan. I'm like, I kind of love that right there, right? And on the sleeves, it's got to say that's some Chicopee shit right there. And that would only the locals would get that. It's
no one sleeve will have a giant elongated like row of Maryland flags because the Maryland flag is the best in the nation. It's cool,
Okay.
so cool. And the other side's just a slowly burning Newport. The whole sleeve.
And a headless beaver.
Yeah.
Hey,
Headless.
Yep.
hey, I don't smoke just any Newport either. I smoke the straight ghetto soft pack too, buddy.
oh, the
All right,
softies.
hey, Cody, 100s?
Yeah, we were wondering.
No, I ain't an old lady yet.
That's when you switch over to Benson and Hedges.
Look at that, Virginia Slims.
Trues.
Oh, look at this. We got a little Florida Cajun representing. Dan, how you doing?
Oh shit!
So we have some credibility with someone who actually knows what they're talking about tonight.
Yep.
and makes all of us look like clowns, man. I don't know if you guys have seen
Hey,
Daniel.
hey.
You just offended Delirious.
What the fuck?
I know. I didn't even think about that.
Did you just assume?
I know
How
who you are.
tremendously 2017 of me. I apologize.
What the fuck?
No, I would recommend taking a good look at his Instagram. This man knows a thing or two about catching some ridiculous fish. I have never wanted to be in Florida more in my life, and that's about the only reason I don't want to. Is it DC Crater Fishing? You can also check out. Hang on, I got to look it up.
We're all jumping on our phones like, what is it?
That's exactly
I
it.
think I got him, but I'm just double checking.
DP Crater. DP. Yeah. And Crater is CREDEUR.
It's gonna rain tomorrow.
You can also check out his baits too at Top Banana Lures.
It's gonna snow, kid.
Yeah, it's
Friday.
supposed
We
to,
got
although
2 inches, 3 inches of snow.
this is the time of year.
Roads.
It'll be gone Saturday.
it'll be
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think
Friday's the last. That's it. After Friday, 60s all
Oh, it's
next week.
gasping, dude. It's gasping.
Yeah.
Dude, we got 57 here tomorrow.
See, that's what happened. I had two really good days, and and I did really well on the open water, and then 20 degrees screwed me up for the past 4 days.
messes it all up, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So when you guys say open water, you're talking about water with no ice, correct?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So Cody, my pond is like 10 acres, and right now about 5 of it's still covered with ice. But thankfully, I'm in the northwest corner, so I can still fish from my dock.
It's our pond now.
Yeah.
Sean.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, yours and Rachel's.
We didn't even freeze over nowhere this year in Maryland. Nowhere.
Well,
Yeah, no
Oh,
ice,
no kidding.
30 minutes.
No, sir.
Oh,
I mean, my dog's little kiddie pool froze over a couple of nights, but that's about the extent of it. The river didn't freeze. None of the ponds froze up. Nothing.
That's it.
I'm jealous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Well, Texas got the hammer this year.
They really did. But you know what's funny? I've been seeing a lot of posts from Becca and from now Todd Grubbs is in Texas too. They've been fishing with Weston Smith and doing a bunch of Guggen stuff. But what's funny is I really kind of expected that whole snap to kill it for a long period of time over there. But they're catching some beasts. I mean,
they're tough down there, man. They are tough. Big and tough.
Video.
Oh, look at
Did you just see that clip of Todd and looked like he's in his underwear?
Yeah, he definitely was. He might be in later to talk. Joseph Martin jumps in, another one of our Louisiana contingencies, says, "What's ice? Ice is the thing you sometimes put into your whiskey, Joseph. That's it for you down there. That's it. That's what. Yeah.
That's all you
see,
gotta worry
look at
about.
this.
Or
The
if you're
guy from
a
Florida, of
tweaker,
course.
you smoke it.
That's true too. That's true too.
Just saying. Just saying. I mean, yeah.
Is that what ice fishing in Florida is?
Probably so. Probably so.
I love it.
They get Dog the Bounty Hunter looking for you.
Oh, it's terrible. Is he still alive? Or no. I got to tell you guys, I watched the craziest thing with my wife. My kids are at dance, right? And we're talking St. Patrick's Day, so we had a traditional Irish meal. It was steak night, and she decides she wants to watch this documentary by Soleil Moonfry, Punky
Brewster.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like she grew up with a video camera in her hands, and at all these parties with all these celebrities, it never stopped rolling. And it's all this stuff that nobody would ever think that, it's just bananas.
Yeah, my wife was
absolutely
telling me about
bananas.
it the other night. Said it was nuts.
Yeah. Did not know she lost her virginity to Charlie Sheen.
I thought you were gonna say Pee Wee Herman.
No. That's why, Lauren. That's why I said. That's why I said sometimes. Not everybody has class or good taste.
I would say quite a few of them lost their virginity to Charlie. I may even have lost my virginity to Charlie.
That's a long. That's a long list.
It's possible.
And conversely, Cody, he lost his virginity to you.
Or that. Yeah. I'm a giver. I ain't a taker.
Winning.
Is it?
For somebody. Cody's the only other man with tiger blood running through his veins at all times.
Well, luckily there's a cocktail for that tiger blood now because Charlie Sheen wasn't doing too well for a little while.
Oh,
very
man,
nice.
It's too funny.
Tiger's blood. See, I'm not making this shit up.
No.
Oh.
Hey Bobby, while you're taking a sip, we're gonna go serious for a moment here, just to
Let's
get
do
this
that.
out of the way. I'd say before things go off the rails, but we've already gone down Charlie Sheen Road, so I think we're past that point. Hey, so this week on the show, I made a horrible mistake. So when I was down at Three Bells, Derek and I talked about getting some of just a teaser of the information out for the trifecta tournament that Three Bells will be putting on in July. God, I'm going to screw the dates up. I know it's on or around the 17th. I believe it's the weekend of the 17th. I'm getting that information right now, so I don't get crucified on this. Yep. All right. So it's July 16th, 17th, 18th down at Niantic. For any of you saltwater fishermen in New England that are looking for a good time on that weekend. That sounded horrible, didn't it? That's all right.
July 16th through the 19th.
Is it through the 19th? Yeah, 16th. So there you go. So that weekend, down at Niantic, 3 species. It is, what is it? Fluke, bluefish, and striper. Peggy and Derek, am I right on that? Fluke, bluefish, striper. I think that sound right to you, Bobby? Or is it? It's not.
I have
tog,
none of
is
this
it?
information, so it sounds fantastic to me.
Okay. Well, we'll
Sounds
wait
like
a minute. We'll wait a minute. But it's a 3-species tournament. It is out of kayaks. Get down there, have a good time. Bobby, I know I will be down there. 18.
18.
What does 18 mean?
To the
18.
18th.
She fat fingered it.
Oh yeah, that's I was right in the
16th
first
to the
place.
18th. Yeah, you are.
6 Friday.
You're
Saturday,
illiterate in the
Sunday.
first place.
Yes, so I was right on that, but I think I'm wrong on the species. She's probably typing feverishly for the species right now, or Derek is. But yes, they're typing feverishly, or yes, those are the right species. We'll go with yes. Look, I'm right. So yeah, we'll be down there. I know I'll be down there at least one day, whether I'm fishing or working a table and doing tricks, backflips, whatever.
Yep. Piss
Turning
plants.
tricks here.
Yeah, open all
Turning
Connecticut
tricks?
waters. So that is all I'm going to say on that. Number one, to save myself from screwing up. Number two, Derek and or Lauren, one of the two, maybe both, will be on to talk about it at some point in the near future. So there's your teaser. They're going to flesh out the details. And yeah, I mean, well, at least I'll be down there. So if you want to throw stuff at me or whatever, I'm good.
I'm fully teased. Thank you very much, Sean.
There's my PSA for the night. All right, let's get stupid.
All right.
Cody, have you ever gone for blue crab in a dump?
In a dump? What do you mean in a dump?
In a creek that runs through a dump.
Like a landfill dump?
Yeah. My uncle was telling me the other day about in Niantic, he would go to the landfill and there was a creek that would run through and he caught 131 in 3 hours in a John boat and filled his whole boat.
There'd be no doubt in my mind. They're the fucking buzzards of the fucking water. They'll eat anything.
I was like, man, what a great idea for a spot.
If you ever wanted to dispose of something you didn't want somebody to find, weigh it down heavily and find where the biomass of crabs are, and it'll be gone by the next day.
Don't give away my secrets. What the hell's wrong with you?
I thought that was going in a different direction, Cody. I thought you were going to say, yeah, you mean the strip joint down the street called the dump? Yeah, I've got plenty of crabs there.
DJ there a night or two.
I ain't got a titty bar within 100 miles of my fucking house.
Okay. You need to open one. That is a calling for a new business right there.
Bobby, how's he going to do that? He just got offered a job to be hired for birthday parties.
Well, it's all about diversifying. You know, we don't know what's entailed with this birthday party. Nate, give us some information. Give us a date. We'll line it all up. We'll get, we'll
get Delirious there.
Get Kinky Kelly out there. It'll be the whole thing. Kids will love it. It'll be great.
Hey, I don't freaking do no clown fucking birthdays, so.
Right.
You don't do any balloon animals, Delirious? What the fuck, man? Come on.
Balloon fish?
No.
No,
I'm usually the clown that stands in the background with a bloody knife just staring at you like.
Swamp Rat says strip club, jigs and bigs. Jugs and nugs.
Jugs and nugs.
Jugs and nugs. What do we have here? Rodney jumps in. Hooksethoodlums.com. Promo code RR Outdoor. Look at that. That's how it's done.
Shameless, Rodney.
I respect that. I can respect that, Rodney. Lauren jumps in, says, Cody, Chop Tank has the best crabs. Now everybody knows. I wish I would have read that before I went live with it.
Sorry, Lauren. You're wrong.
What's Chop Tank? Is that just a restaurant?
Yeah, it's Chop Tank's a river. There's a big chop, little chop. Lauren, Chester River. We all know Chester River has the best crabs. We all know it.
I'm gonna take his word for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Sure.
It's a man.
Yeah, he's Mike too.
Cody's from Maryland. Maryland knows crabs.
Crabs.
This is a good question for Wild Bill.
Oh,
how does one become a Hookset Hoodlum? You're in, brother. DM me, Wild Bill Fishing. We're putting together a big group. I just looked at your Instagram. You gotta guide us. That's all when we go to Florida.
I think that's a true. And he knows a thing or two about like aquatic life. Like really, like he's
a smart dude.
He's a very smart dude.
I look at the page. I was already following it. I just didn't know what the screen name there. Yeah, this is some serious fishing out there, huh?
Hey guys, we got Nick Espinoza all the way in Cali watching
us.
What's up, Nick? How you doing, homie? How's things? I know he's super excited about getting out there and catching some fish this spring. And I think he either went out this last weekend or this weekend coming is that's the plan. Oh, look, we got Dan Griffin. Look at this. Rodney says, go stay a weekend with Cody and his 500 AC. I'm all right. Although, actually, after the last fishing for answers, I'm a little frightened on that for that trip. I'm a little
only with permission, Bobby. I already said that. I'll ask.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
It ain't rape if you yell surprise.
It's true. 16 candles all over. Wow. Oh, I love it, man. I love it. This is so good. This is so good. Comments like crazy. Oh my goodness. So anybody have any big plans this spring into summer? Like, what are we looking at for goals here? Anybody got any new trips that they're planning? Anything like that? Anything interesting?
Headed down to Alabama a week from today for the Pickwick Wilson Wheeler Trail for KBF. So.
That's huge, man. You ever been down there before? Or is this brand new?
No, I fished in Florida a little bit. My dad's in Florida, but never fished in Alabama. Never fished on Tennessee River chain. But from what I'm hearing, they're getting ready to spawn down there, or are spawning. So hopefully it should be a good one.
That's awesome. That's awesome, man.
Nate, will you be dressing properly for the weather on this trip?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us what happened? Why don't you give the rest of the world a safety briefing on what happened today, or what almost happened?
Life jackets are very important this time of year.
What else is?
Also a wetsuit and something warm.
Sean's pissed right now.
Smoke. These headphones are keeping the smoke in.
I came close to going in, got kind of caught in a riff over a tree on a river today. Went up kind of like 3/4 of the way, flipped. Was able to like kind of get to a spot where it was shallow and get the kayak off, but definitely lost some gear, lost all my terminal tackle.
I know that feeling, dude.
Yeah.
It's going around.
It's just
that's a good point.
It's going to fuck around.
So when Nate called me today, he was all excited. He's like, dude, I caught 22 bass today. It was awesome. Oh yeah, I almost died. So I'm like, oh Jesus, come on, man. That's all I do is harp on the show about safety and buy the stupid $70 split wetsuit and you won't die. So I'll kill this, Nate, and I'll stop beating on you on this because it's a great example.
John did just jump in with a comment. The worst thing is too, he was like, don't take that way into this place. It gets sketchy. I was like, I've done it before. I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Famous last words.
Famous last words, right, brother?
Yeah.
So based on what we talked about last show, Nate, what was the water temperature on your fish finder at the surface?
It was. I didn't have a finder with me, but last week it was.
Oh my goodness,
39. So I'm guessing it was somewhere in there.
So around 40, and it was like 40 degrees today. So that was 80. That's definitely less than 120. That would have been death.
Yeah, about a mile from where I launched to.
Oh,
no. Yeah, don't do that. See, Cody knows. Cody just went in recently. He knows no bullshit.
That is rough.
All right, I'm done beating on you. Buy something, buy a wetsuit or buy a dry suit.
Learned a valuable lesson and to rebuy all my terminal tackle before Alabama.
Yep.
Damn.
That is rough. So we got two people joining us. We got Ellie in the wild, and Jordan all the way. And Jordan's got big news. He had a big day. He had a huge day. Jordan, why don't you tell everybody about your big day? Oh, snap. We got more people jumping in here.
Oh, shit. Grubs and Becca.
Let's see. This, I think, is the most.
She's making some cookies, I think.
I think she is. She's in the kitchen. Something going on. I've seen lots of recipes on her TikTok feed.
Yep. I'm going to cook something.
It says everyone can hear us.
That's what I'm doing.
I can hear you guys.
Yeah, we can hear you.
We hear y'all.
Loud and clear, live from Texas.
Is it still that cold in Texas? They are frozen.
I don't think so. I
You
think
think
they're.
it wouldn't be, being that they're from New England, so they should be used to it.
What just happened there?
There was. Oh, he dropped out.
And in the Cody position this week are Todd and Becca.
You gotta find him a Jamaican goddess.
Yeah.
Cody, your Wi-Fi is rocking right now. What'd you do different?
Yeah, because I called them and threatened them with their fucking life if they didn't get it straight. So. Ain't had a problem since, let me tell you, fellas. They got that shit pumping in here on high volume.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, my God.
What do we got here? John Connon.
What was that last comment from Peggy from Lauren? I'm sorry.
All right, we'll get there.
She used your
John's
your
offering
math equation.
John's offering up some terminal tackle if you need it.
Hey, nice.
And what do we have here from Lauren? Put the rule of 120 in the store the other day. Had a guy call wanting to do a demo. Said it was going to be 60 out. We would put him in a demo. I said, if you have a wetsuit or dry suit. He said no. I said sorry. Then explained the rule. There we go. There's Becca.
I'm going to go out on a limb and just say for Lauren, the theory is a dead prospective customer is not a customer because they can't buy things when they're dead. Makes sense.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Too much math involved. Just wing it.
I say, wear the
Those
dry
are good
suit
with numbers.
at all costs. Like you're out there in July, you can never be too safe. Okay,
What's
so
up,
let's
Todd?
see.
What's up, guys?
How you guys
What's up,
doing?
Becca?
What's up, y'all?
We're doing good. We just had an incredible day of fishing.
Yeah, judging from your Instagram stories, that's no joke. Todd looked like he was in his underwear at some point.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm usually in my underwear.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
true. There's Jordan. He's back.
Holy cow, dude.
Dude,
We got a
Sean,
little
you're
sneak
making
peek at Todd's OnlyFans.
that's right. Got that promo weekend rate. That St. Patty's bonus.
It's free for all.
I love that. That is Sean. You're making an impact, man.
Actually, edit the video. And Becca also caught 3 massive fish today. One was almost 6 pounds. One was almost 5. One was. We didn't weigh the other one. It was probably a little,
Below 4.
almost, a little below 4.
Yeah.
That's huge.
That's them. I fucking wrecked them.
Yeah, I saw some of the
Nice.
pics. Unreal.
It was
Nice to get out of New England.
Yep, I do too.
Green pumpkin purple just launched like 2 weeks ago and caught me all of them. It's stupid.
In case you guys want the undies.
Let's start an auction. Let's throw them in with the prize I'm giving away
You
tonight.
washed the
Why not?
stains out of them. That was nice.
Fucking pecker tracks.
Oh.
But speaking of flipping over, Cody's video on his Instagram where they
What?
rolled over was funnier than the
haven't
whole
seen
episode.
it. God damn it.
Me?
But go on your Facebook.
You rolled over. Did you have your dog with you?
Yeah, but she stayed in.
I was going to ask you about that. How did your whole
Laughing at your
how did
ass.
the canoe flip?
boy.
And Derek Coleman was a drowned rat, and you
the
made it,
canoe-
and the dog never left the boat.
The canoe didn't
You want
flip.
more?
My seat sheared off because I made the mounts out of
Well done.
PVC pipe because I'm a plumber, so I tried to be cheap on it.
Mm.
And I was leaning forward to lower my stabilizer after I'd spent an hour clearing the fucking beaver dam off, so I didn't have to pick my stabilizers up and put them back down anymore. Went over the fucking beaver dam, got it over, leaned forward to lower my fucking stabilizers, and I was kind of hanging over the boat to do it a little bit, and my seat sheared, and I went in head first, dog. I ate shit. I fucking went in head first, and it did that to the canoe, and it just launched Derek out of it. The canoe came back up right. Dog, poles, everything stayed in it except for Derek and I.
I
We
like
miss you
Derek
too,
looks like
Joe.
he's dying. He goes, Derek's got hypothermia. Then he goes, Derek, look, he'll get a fucking drowned rat.
He can't weigh 120 pounds soaking wet. He burned every calorie in his body pushing the canoe and getting back up on the fucking grass mat. Poor kid. Ah, damn.
Stabilizers. How about Silverback was making fun of him for having training wheels that he flipped over the next day?
There we go. Oh, you guys know what's up. Oh my goodness.
So we're waiting on Justin to actually get some Wi-Fi too. We can hear his tale of greatness today, huh?
Oh,
He vanished again.
Jordan
He just said
killed it. Yeah, he said.
I said Justin. I'm sorry, Jordan.
His signal's acting a fool, and I understand that he's out in the mountains in North Carolina, and so I got to talk to him a little bit about that.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
And that's a brand new lake. Like he's just working on breaking it down. Like
Here's Mr. Joe.
huge.
Joe, I need more fishing tackle.
Yeah, we all need more fishing tackle.
Joe, where's my loose?
I got to do tackle today. I'm trying this guy out.
On the pack guys.
The
What do you got
Savage Gear rat, mouse, whatever it is.
Oh, really?
You got a rat mouse?
Yeah, the rat
I'm down
mouse.
with that. I'm down with that
Hang on.
BBZ rat. That looks good.
I love
BBC
throwing a
is
rat.
the best. It's so good.
BBC
How good?
out there.
It's great.
For an inexpensive swim bait, the BBZ rat is number one.
Yeah, you can't deny it.
For a weight bait.
Mm-hmm. My phone's blowing up over here.
I just gave some a BBZ rat like 15 minutes ago.
There was
That's on. That's on it.
What's happening?
I don't know. Every once in a while I hear a little something from Ellie's feed. That's questionable. All right, let's go ahead.
She ate all the cookies.
No, it's
You're cracking up.
Well, not yet. Give it time. My roommate walked by and was like, "I gotta go poop," and I was like, "Oh, I'm not muted."
It's all about sharing. That's what we're doing. We're sharing.
I mean, we do a lot of poop talk here. You know,
we definitely do.
Yeah, I know. We have to set like timers and do over unders and give away prizes on when the first person mentions poop, because that's 2 in a row now.
I shit my pants last night.
Okay.
Yep. Ate an almond joy, choked on it a little bit. I coughed, and sounded like a covey of quail jumped up in my pants. Fuck.
I hate to take this moment to promote Daniel's baits, but Top Banana Lures makes a 3-piece rat that is just fire.
It's always gold.
Perfect timing.
Absolute gold. Oh, and you have service this time. It makes it great.
I do, Todd. I do. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for pointing that out.
Oh, we got a crazy audience.
Enjoy.
Shit.
This is great.
Hey, sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't.
Okay.
Sometimes I feel those nuts.
Oh, I love it. St. Patty's Day. No road race. No parade. I'm loving it. Mm.
Oh, man.
Before that, we were talking about swim baits.
We were talking about swim baits.
Okay.
We took a sharp left turn to that.
We took
a sharp left turn.
Took a sharp left turn.
I have one of my best buddies makes swim. And, he had to put up with a ton of shit today from the just like some people in the swim bait community can be like complete pieces of shit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yep.
Like just complete assholes. He has like a page where he just literally bashes people, right? That's all he does, and he's hiding behind a mask, like you don't know who he is, and he's just like literally just talking so much shit on Chris's baits, and they're freaking incredible. Like I've used them.
Yep.
They catch giants. Like it bugs the living shit out of me. It's literally like it's like such a freaking amazing way to fish, and it's surrounded by so much garbage.
Yep.
I mean, there's a lot of great people in the community as well. Don't get me wrong. I've met so many people. There's so many people that actually want to go reach out and help, but they have like the worst trolls. They are like the worst trolls in the whole fishing community.
It is like its own community, the swim bait.
It is. It's almost like
100%.
I've heard a lot of people say like the swim bait like
Wait a
movement.
minute, so this is the thing.
Kind of like a cult, you know, like it's really unique.
Very
Like
true.
elitist swim bait groups.
Oh, you have no idea.
Like,
So there's like bait makers out
Joe's
there.
upset.
I'm not going to
I
name
invited
names
Joe.
because I've already named names. You can watch some of my videos on YouTube if you want about that. I have specific, but we're not going to name names today. But
yeah,
there's bait makers out there that literally will only sell to the people they want to sell to. They don't even do like open stuff.
Yep.
I mean, you know, like they'll do like stuff for like charity and stuff too. There is things they do that are good, but the community they create by doing that people that own one of these baits feel like they're like holier than thou. You know what I mean? They think they're like the fucking greatest thing to walk the planet because they're holding a piece of fucking plastic that floats on the water and catches bass. I could take a shit and tie a fucking loop knot on it and toss it out there, and a big bass will hit it at night.
If you need some shit samples, we got plenty here.
I know. I mean, I need a hard one. We're gonna have to leave it outside.
A hard shit.
Yeah. Just use the Almond Joy, Todd.
Yeah. We'll just leave it in the sun, right, for a few days.
Just use the Almond Joy.
We have like 6 on the over/under now.
Yeah.
You'd be hard pressed to tie a knot on the shit I took last night, buddy.
I mean, save it up for me. Save me a couple big ones, you know.
Don't tell him that.
No, he will.
Do a freaking bill on it.
Wrangle that up with an Alabama jam, Cody.
How's the contender? I saw you guys messing with that on there. Did you guys throw it yet or no?
Oh, dude. Did you guys see my Instagram?
Yeah, I saw you picking it up.
That was on a contender?
Wow.
That wasn't on the junior. The junior contender is really good too, but I haven't caught a fish on it. But that was the big contender. Well, it was 7-inch, if not big, but you know what I mean. The bigger size.
The bigger, yeah.
It's pretty cool, and you can put it in really any like depth that you want it in, which is like good for me because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So
yeah.
So does it sink at depths, or does it swim down to depths, or?
It's a slow sinking, but you can pretty much keep it in any depth. I mess around with it, and you can fish it deep if you want to, but it's slow sinking.
Is the contender the Guggen swim bait?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Here he is. Mr.
Hey!
What's up, buddy?
Hey, Sean, I gotta go. Shimano's calling.
Joe, I had I sent you the invite, but I think I did it on the OGO Instagram, so my apologies.
Oh, I'm just messing with you guys. I'm at
He's
work,
not.
but I need a little.
The door's locked.
A little bit of a break.
I know you were work on Friday, and I was like, "Oh shit, he's still working."
Yeah. My day off, I was working.
So,
new sign come?
I think Thursday. So tomorrow.
There you go.
So, for those that don't know, Joe is the proprietor of Old Glory Outdoors, and Old Glory is where I go to get all of my Guggen baits, like the contender and the clickbait and all that stuff. Joe, you got any clickbaits or any contenders in yet?
So my first batch of contenders got wiped out.
Yeah.
Aha! Because we got a glowing recommendation from Becca.
Yeah.
Now, what's Guggen?
Code Becca.
Code Becca. Or if you want, you can order from Old Glory Outdoors and support the podcast with code Jigs and Bigs. I'm just saying.
No, support him. I'm doing.
You can use code Becca at Target.
Walmart.
I've used code Becca before lots of places.
Bumble. You can fuck around with Bumble.
Nathan Bills.
10% off.
Yeah, really any dating website, code Becca.
I just use it at bars, and it works great. And they're like who? And I'm like, you don't know Becca? What's wrong with you?
Man, Joe looks like he needs to lift more weights or something. God damn, big motherfucker. Fucker, stand on your feet and pull your goddamn head off.
I believe that, Daniel.
Come here to flex, do you?
Get big.
I love it.
What do you want?
Joe, I like you, buddy. Don't get mad at me. You might kill me.
That's promo code Almond Joy at Old Glory Outdoors.
I'm dead. Oh yeah.
Kills me.
It's like the first time in forever this basement hasn't been like negative 10 degrees. And I'm laughing my ass off. Holy shit. Oh my goodness.
It's heating up.
Ellie, where are those cookies?
Yeah, Ellie vanished. What's going on
She
here?
did. I don't know.
There she is.
I'm gonna make them. I'm just marinating
Gonna make
on
'em.
some beer right now, and then when I get done with that, then I'll start to burn things. So Just give it time. Hello.
Did you just say you're going to mainline some beer?
Yeah.
Atta
Yeah.
girl.
Yeah.
Nice.
Whoa.
Grandma and cookies. Okay.
Oh, this
Did
is
you say
fantastic.
Swedish beer?
Okay.
Did you say Swedish?
Swedish beer?
No.
No, not Swedish.
You didn't know. You didn't say Swedish beer.
Who, me?
I did.
These are the best comments. Rodney chimes in. He says he can't breathe.
Yeah, I'll be fine.
I am drinking Japanese beer.
We
I'm
forgot to
drinking
get booze.
Scottish beer.
Really?
We should
Oh,
order
Scottish beer.
It's Dewar's 12 year.
You fucking drink pops. You don't
And I'm wearing a kilt.
Wait, is it really a Japanese
Jameson.
beer?
Yeah.
That's Irish.
Japos are big on the beer. Sipario, yeah.
That's weird because every time Chris comes into the shop, he only wants to buy stuff that's American made.
That's true.
Interesting. Well, hey,
That is true.
he likes his imports to go to select.
I am an
markets.
American maker. I do
true.
appreciate those things.
I have never seen anyone inspect a fishing rod before he buys one like this guy does.
I can get behind
Why?
that. So Joe, you haven't sold out of all those arc rods yet, have you?
No, I just got a new shipment in yesterday. I got like 40 of them or something.
Those cash-in look nice too, dude.
Looks like I
Cash-ins
know where
and-
I'm going this weekend.
Yeah, cash-ins are nice. We got I got some more Phoenixes in. Phoenixes are dope.
Joe, did you check on the inventory request I sent you today?
Yep. Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
We good?
The rod's in. I got the 2 of the reels are a couple days out,
Okay.
and one of them's back ordered.
Son of a bitch.
But no. I have something else for you.
If it's a concept A2, I'm gonna laugh and throw it out in a parking lot or possibly Route 9.
No,
It's just the door for the
no,
concept.
dude. It's a Corrado MGL. You're good.
That's going out in Route 9 too.
I was looking at that on Friday. God damn it! Yeah, that's nice.
All right, let me know. Let me know when those 2 reels get in. I'll stop in and grab the 2 reels, and I'll bring old cousin John with me. He can get his long-awaited Christmas
fine.
present.
I got the Zebcos you ordered too.
Oh, the push button Mickey Mouse ones, right? I'm good.
Yeah, I thought you wanted Moana.
Yeah. That was my little gift for Easter for myself.
Hey, Mr. Joe, I'm gonna call you Mister because you a big motherfucker. Holy fuck.
I'm really not.
He really is.
I get a lot of jigs from a company up there. You guys call Beast Coast. You guys carry them?
So I don't carry them at this moment, but I have spoken to them. So
Yeah, buddy, they
stand
are
by
the
and stand
shit.
by.
Yeah,
They are the
some,
shit.
There's some good stuff
fucking
from the East
name.
Coast.
I just ordered some from who you had on this week, Bobby?
Our guest this week from
Jig- was it
Jigmasters.
Jigmaster? Yeah, I just
Cody
ordered.
Jennings, yeah.
I just
yeah.
ordered a bunch from him.
So
Dude,
I just
they
got
are-
off, I just talked to Cody on the phone the other day. Him and I are in the works with some stuff too.
I told him he should call you. He was like, "Hey, where should I be over there?" And I was like, "I know the one spot you need to be in
So
for
Cody,
sure."
if you're listening, I didn't forget about you. We'll be in touch.
You know, word on the street is that there will be some jigs and bigs jigs that you could purchase as well. Some non-lead jigs and bigs jigs, as well as other terminal tackle. That I've said too much. I really.
Let's go.
That's what happens when I drink.
Let's go.
Promo code surprise.
Surprise, motherfuckers.
Joe, when's your tournament season start?
Saturday.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
How you like it, Jerry?
I got to bring my auger. Oh yeah.
Just saying,
dude,
these
that
last
cold-
couple days fucked it all up.
Yeah.
that's,
You can break it with the boat. You'll be good.
That's my least comfortable thing is like end of winter, early spring, tournament fishing. That's the toughest time for me.
Finesse, dude.
Oh, just slow.
Is this
Right,
the Taya jumping in saying hello? I think it is.
Shit, Bill, we got our tournament,
that
what,
what
2 weeks?
Are you
2 weeks, yeah, 2 weeks.
like
Holy shit.
extremely bad?
Luckily,
I
I'm
literally
amazing in
put
all
every
seasons.
meat in the fridge just to
Go fuck yourself. How's that sound?
Mike.
Remember,
Hold on,
you're
what
in your
is Ellie
kayak. I'm in
saying?
my boat, so have fun.
No.
Well, hold on, everyone. We need a moment of silence. Ellie is going. Something's going on there. Oh, she's back.
Oh, she is back.
No, sorry.
I muted her for a minute because I was like, I don't know if this is something she wants out on the internet. Oh.
My roommate got so burning. It's from something I made, so
It looked like
you know, everything's fine over here. Just carry on.
yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it is the Taya. We've got Dan Griffin says low and slow, Joe. Yeah, that's this time of year. That's what everything's all about. Low and slow, like good barbecue. Who do we lose?
Dan's one of my
I go
pro
for some
staff. He's a good
barbecue.
dude.
We lost the Texas contingent.
And Joe's full of
They
shit. He
went
has
to
no
have
weak spots
barbecue?
in his game.
So
You beat me with the
Sorry.
trout that day.
We beat the trout with the trout.
Oh my god, yeah. He went through the gulag.
All right.
So kind of back to the swim bait thing. The
Yep.
rods I use, Doomsday, they released their new line on Monday, and over half of the rods that the new line of the rods that he released are all catered to the big swim bait crowd. They're all like 711 heavies, extra fast 712s, big solid handle swim bait rods. I was a little disappointed, but I guess I'm gonna have to get into swim baits now. So
Oh, wow.
Nice. Just want to go and give a little bit of credit here. So
Look at
Jordan's
that
having
thing.
some issues with his
wow.
Nice.
with his internet, and
Nice
this
colors,
is his
too.
new PB, man. He crushed it. But the
That's a
one
beautiful
thing,
fucking fish.
it's a gorgeous fish. It went 6. My comment to him when he messaged me about it was that thing has a belly like I do.
Yeah, me too.
That is
Me too, Bobby.
big ass fish right there. And on top of that, I want you guys to note, take a look at the hat that he's wearing. I'm going to go ahead and accept all credit for that fish right there, because these hats, a lot of people don't know. If you go to jigsandbigs.com, you order one of the flat brim hats right here. They're preloaded with whatever that magical juice is that you need.
Preloaded.
They are preloaded to catch good fish.
Bobby, did you put that warning on there? The only thing that will nullify that preloading is, in fact, a soul patch.
Yes,
Don't wear
I
that
did.
with a
It's
soul
got a new
patch.
sticker. Yeah.
Are they on? Do you got them for sale on your site or something, Bobby?
What's that?
I said,
hats?
are they for sale? The Jigs and Bigs
Oh,
hats? Okay.
So
all right.
we've got one online store right now that we've been selling merch, just hats, hoodies, t-shirts, stuff like that. We have a brand new store that we're in the process of working with. It's a local company, and we're gonna have those same like logo designs, but we're also gonna have like performance wear, like
Nice.
SPF, stuff like that you
Nice.
actually will use
Good.
out fishing. So yeah, we're working on it.
We're also going to have a long sleeve Sean the Fisherman shirt that's pretty good. Chris has seen a preview of it. He was very happy. Yeah.
Horns up, if that's a clue.
Yeah.
iRod 7.9 heavy, moderate, fast tip. You can do a lot with that, Dan. Oh, I don't know if that's available at OGO, but
No,
does it have to be gray? Gravy Fishing ass, does it have to be gray? No, it's available in black and in gray. I like the gray one specifically because it won't fade so quickly if I wear it in the sun, like out fishing and stuff. But pretty good stuff. Oh, as good as the OGO. Nate Wins jumps in here, says guys should come to the island below the Holyoke Mass Dam, Connecticut River this season for some huge striper. Oh yeah, striper. That's a hot spot. Anybody looking for a striper? That's a great spot over there.
Do you guys know Nate?
I don't know Nate personally, but I do know him from like a lot of the Facebook fishing groups and stuff like that.
He gets everybody all riled up.
If Sean's shirt doesn't have a duck on it, he definitely does.
He's like this. Every fish he catches, he's flipping the camera off. People get so upset. They don't realize he's baiting them, you know.
Exactly.
Nate gets on him.
He's Facebook famous out here, out in Mass right now.
Dude, Nate gets on him, dude.
Is.
He fishes year round. I love it.
I love it.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Joe,
this is good.
Rifle?
No.
Come on, man.
Absolutely.
Oh goodness. Oh, so we got some good stuff.
Hey, do you guys trim your weed guards, taper your weed guards on your jigs?
I thought that was going to turn into manscaping.
That too.
On my
gotta trim your bushes to make your deck look bigger.
I don't. I leave mine exactly the way they are, unless I leave pretty much every jig. I leave them exactly the way they are. But I know that some people do. I do trim skirts quite a bit.
Who's saying that?
About trimming weed guards?
About making your deck bigger?
Trimming your bushes?
That's Cody Ellie that's talking about trimming the bushes.
Oh,
Huh?
who's got a big bush up here? Just curious.
Do you have a big bush, Cody?
Oh, okay.
I do. It looks like my face.
Wow.
Yes, and my skirts. Yeah, I leave mine as they are. I kind of feel like I kind of feel like they flex a little bit easier on as far as like the bite is concerned, but that's just me. I've heard otherwise. I have trimmed them, but
Matt Allen. Yeah, go ahead, dude.
I taper mine just below the tip of the hook, and I take a wacky worm rubber band and I run it up all the way to the base of the weed guard to stiffen it. And it makes a huge difference on hang-ups. A huge difference, fellas.
I'll fire in a little tip that I do for skirts. So there's a certain brand that makes those trailer skirts where they have a center ring that that comes out past and almost looks like a little trailer. So you don't really, I guess in theory, you don't really have to use a trailer. I found that those will tangle and spinner and chatterbaits if you're using a trailer hook. So what I do is I love those skirts and I'll just cut the trailer part off them, so you still have a nice full skirt, and that's that.
Nice.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah. So I get a full bush, right, Cody?
Full bush.
Full on. Full on.
Texas, you're back. Full bush.
We're back.
You guys missed out.
I forgot to plug my phone in.
Good job.
That'll do it.
Straight died. It was like mid sentence. See you later.
I was like something. Maybe there's like something going on in Texas. They're like, all right, guys, shut everything down.
Well, when I first joined, I wasn't signed into the damn Wi-Fi here, and so I was like Cody, and I was like, oh, we can't do this. And then Becca jumped on her phone real quick, but we need to order dinner on her phone. So then the shit show here. We're a mess.
You guys got it together.
We're still shaking from all the crazy catches today. Like, so what happened earlier, like Becca caught a big bass laying down, right? She just like was maxing out. I've been grinding all freaking day. Becca slept in. She like chilled. She like edited and all this stuff. And then then we like went out and did, so I did like a whole video this morning, and then we went out all together.
Mm-hmm.
And she freaking like within 5 minutes is like just chilling, laying down, casting, and all of a sudden, boom, giant. And so like we freak out, and then I went right back to where I was. I'm standing on these rocks, and I had one rod in there for catfish because there's freaking catfish here in like every body of water. So I've been bringing a rod that's like dedicated for catfish and just tossing it out and then running around and fishing. and my rod went into the body of water because the cat bit and took it. So my rod was in the water with my $300 tranks attached to it.
Oh, dude. Oh.
And so I was literally running like Superman, like taking my clothes off as I ran, and jumped in and grabbed it and just set the hook.
That's fucking awesome.
It was madness.
It was so good.
Today was just madness.
Anybody here ever been noodling?
I would love to.
No, I want to do it though.
You do? Cody, I figured you would. You got
Yeah,
the
I
fucking
wanna do it.
rhinoceros balls.
I want to do it.
I'd do it.
I'm not doing it.
I'm with you, Chris. Nope, not for me.
You get the wrong snake, and you're having a really bad day.
See, the ones you put your hand in don't seem bad. It's the videos when they're like putting their whole legs in everything. I'm kind of that's the point.
Fuck around and get bit by a water bug, right, Cody?
Yeah, that could happen. That shit hurts.
Roadkill
hurts.
Says he went noodling once, but it's illegal there.
I did.
You did really? That fucking. What's it like? Is like bee sting bad or?
Well, what happened was
he saw Jesus.
If you just get that mushrooms, I saw Jesus and the devil all at the same time.
Right. I wouldn't want to be on mushrooms and get bit by a water bug.
Cody related this story on a group text was it last week or this week, Cody? I think it was this week.
Couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and he's been just killing us with bedtime stories every night. And this was the first one, and this is so mind blowing. He could not have opened with a better story. If it was his slot machine, it involved snakes, frogs, water bugs, giant water bugs. If you ever know what those are, it involved mushrooms. Mushrooms were the drug.
Yep,
and then
blue meanie mushrooms.
Oh, blue meanies.
Yep, and then the law enforcement was basically hospital staff, or the authority figure was hospital staff, and it went sideways immediately, out of the gate immediately. Greatest story ever told, Cody. Thank you.
So I'm gonna Wild Bill. I hope I'm not overstepping here, but I'm gonna pull the curtain away a little bit here on the Hookset Hoodlums Pro Staff. There is a very exclusive Hookset Hoodlums Pro Staff chat group that's going on right now, and in this, it is not weird for Cody to have just a rant of past experiences going on, and then we'll periodically get other pro staffers that'll jump in and go, "What the fuck did I just walk into?"
I think I'm fairly certain there's about 20 people. I'm fairly certain most have muted that group completely. But
they're missing
I was
out.
actually just gonna say this.
I'm
for
drawn
anyone
to
who's interested.
Hey,
I got a couple messages and stuff. It's funny because I have to now realize that as we add new pro staff or whatever you want to call it, there has to be a disclaimer like, hey, we're going to add you this. It's the best way to communicate with everybody, but you also are about to take a ride with Cody. So.
The views and opinions expressed by one Lockwood Fishing are
and
it's
free. You don't even have to pay to listen to these stories.
Oh, I love it. It makes me so happy. We got Joel watching on Facebook.
Joel
Brutus, what's up, baby?
Joel Brutus, what's up?
Oh,
buddy?
this is good stuff, man.
Be right, I'm gonna go check on Ellie's cookies. All right,
do your thing, man. Sounds like a plan. So I'm assuming she baked enough to share. I think that's the case. Ellie, get back to us when you get. Oh,
there she is.
I know. Sorry, I can't stand in one spot, so really I'm like over there going like this.
Gotcha.
So just.
It's the Swedish beer.
She's fine.
It is the Swedish beer.
Yeah.
Joel, it's just this is how we roll with the live streams. It's just a bunch of people talking, telling stories, having some beverages, and a ton of laughs. 10-1 laugh to beverage.
So I do have to say, while he's here, on a serious note, can I just say, Joe, dude, you took care of me so well. Yeah. Glory Outdoors when that gift card didn't go through. I just want to say he hopped on, handled it, shipped it to me without a question, took care of everything himself, and that spoke big about the store itself. He knew what he was talking about. Just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, he's the best.
Oh yeah, man. I got
Old
Glory's amazing. Yeah, and I mean, Joe's awesome. You know, you don't get customer service like that just anywhere these days.
I stopped in, I think 2 weeks ago, and he had a kid working there, and I got into rods, and dude, even the young cats working there, they know everything. They good on gear ratios, ask you what you're looking to run, what your price range is. It was good, you know, compared to going into Bass Pro and getting that guy that has no idea what he's talking about.
I had that today, actually.
Yeah, compared to going there and, you know, actually being able to talk gear ratios and medium actions to light actions, like, it's nice.
Yeah. Joe's the man. Joe has such a good reputation that Ken, it only took 11 months. Ken left his house and decided to meet him. It was amazing. That's how good of a reputation Joe has.
We were all there.
I can't wait
Joe,
for Ken's first anniversary next year.
Ken's watching right now.
If Joe told me anything, I'd just be like, okay, yep, yes, sir. Yep, you got it. You want me to buy this trolling rod? Okay, yeah, I got it. I'll buy the trolling rod.
Hey, Joe, you mind if I relay that little story of what was going on with the TV one day when I was there? It wasn't last trip, but I think when me and Nelson came out.
Oh, go for it.
And before everybody else got there, do you remember this? Because I've been telling it to people because it's ironic and funny. Because so Joe, I mean, a bunch of us here have younger kids, and our younger kids are always on YouTube watching videos of kids playing with toys or playing with video games, right? And Joe, your kids were getting to that point. So we were talking, and Joe, I think you had one of your kids there was on an iPad, and they were running around. You gave them the iPad, and they started watching, YouTube or something of somebody doing something that probably is enjoyable when one person does it, but then recorded it. And we've all gone through that. So you were ranting about it, and I just kind of said, "Hey, don't you have a video of someone fishing on the screen behind you?" And you went, "Touche." So that was kind of ironic and funny.
Yeah, we're just.
I don't know. I thought it was funny. Fuck you guys.
That's awesome. No, it's good. It's good.
Hey, Sean, you're not alone. I deal with the same shit. I tell my kids, "You're watching somebody play a video game," but I do this, and then that's what I'm watching is somebody. Fish, so
somebody fishing. Yeah, I do too. It's all good. I just thought it was funny.
It's different.
Yeah,
I got a question for everybody.
Shut the fuck up and go to your room. This is Todd Grubbs. Get the fuck upstairs.
Get out. Do you know who this man is? I got a question for everybody, though. I want everybody to share what they think. To them, what is the geekiest fishing channel that you watch regularly? I'll go first. The Nature of Fishing. Hands down. It's hard to watch. It's hard to stay awake, but it is more information than you will ever get. What is it? The Nature of Fishing. Unbelievable.
I haven't seen it.
Paul Roberts. He is the man. Now. Yeah. It's have some coffee going because I mean, it's like PBS documentary type stuff, underwater footage, science background, like
great. That's awesome.
So good. Paul Roberts is the man. I actually contacted him to have him on the show, and he's just like, I'm too busy. I'm hoping that we can, make this happen further down the road. But definitely, that is the geekiest shit that I watch for fishing.
Wait till he finds out you call him a geek.
No, I'm the geek. Oh. I'm the geek.
Has anyone watched the Tactical Bassin?
Wait a minute.
Where they do like
hey guys, Matt Allen here. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin.
Nailed that.
Absolutely, Matt.
So lately they've been doing these like full
spot on.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Which one? It's like unedited, like
like 3 hours in Florida.
I just sit there and watch that.
I like listening to the fucking birds.
I don't watch fishing videos at all, but every once in a while that pops up and I'm like, shit. Damn it, I press play.
Yep.
It's terrible. But they're just ridiculous. They're unreal.
I don't know if it's like a geeky show. I can't think of the name of it right now, but there's this dude. He's actually a lawyer, and all he does is catfish off his pontoon boat. And he's got a couple kids, like young kids, and like he catches some decent fish. But 99% of the time, he's just like yelling at his kids the whole time. But I can't.
God bless him.
Is it catfishing? Is it catfish and carp?
That might be it. That might be it.
He has a second channel too, called like the Outdoor Boys. That dude's
I've seen that.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's
all right,
it's
Joe.
different.
Joe, who's this?
It's catfish and carp.
Beautiful day out here on the river. Gonna like to relax with the peace and quiet up here. Hopefully, get on some nice pike.
That's ND Yacker, man.
Yes.
Chris, I'm gonna have to hire you for my fish and game show, man. That could be really good.
You know what? He's got like the voice of an angel. But
it's so soothing, man.
Dude, the strike.
I was having the worst fucking day, and I just hear him going, I love coming out here in the winter. It's all nice and quiet. Snow on the banks. I'm like, dude, take me away. Right on.
You're like, can I get you on the Calm app? Is that possible? Can we? I need you to lull me to a point of relaxation and meditation. Fish the Moment is another one for me that I am like, I totally geek out to Fish the Moment. And Intuitive Angler with Randy Blauket, like that's another one, man. Like, I love the geeky shit. You know what I mean? It doesn't help me, clearly. I mean, as last year or two, but
deep. It's all when anybody goes deep into it and they really know what's going on. It's great. It's just fucking great.
Yeah, Joel's even saying there. Yep, Yacker voice is spot on. Absolutely. After you said it, it clicked. I'm like, that's definitely him. Definitely. Yep. So none of you guys want to blow up like the geeky stuff that you watch or anything like that?
Dude, I watch Marlon Bates.
Oh, his channel's awesome.
Marlon Bates.
Dope. Yeah.
Like the shit he creates is amazing, and then he's like, yeah, I just built this lure and I'm gonna go fish it, and the next thing you know, it's stuck. He's like, great. And he snaps his line and goes, and he's like, oh, I didn't get my thumbnail. Fuck.
Yeah. I love it because he's a little bit like self-deprecating, like when he does it. So it's like you just feel like he's just some regular guy. It's awesome. But yeah, I mean, he's
shit though. Like,
he's a talented dude.
I know. Yeah.
Builds like 12 hours out of a wooden lure, then turns around and silicones it to make hand poured plastics out of it. It's like
it's unbelievable.
I want to know what magic that dude out in Slovakia, that Tommy's Baits, is. What witchery is he doing? Because those things look fucking real. They just look real.
One day.
Fucking crazy.
I love the
I don't know if I've seen those.
You haven't seen those? It's like Neprovologic. It's something crazy, but Tommy, Tomy's Baits.
Tommy's
and his swim baits look like real fish with a little paddle tail. And I don't know how he pours them.
That's dope.
It's great. That's crazy. Awesome. And they're sold out in 11 minutes.
Wow.
That's dope. I like burrito baits a lot for like soft plastic.
Oh, you gotta charge it.
That dude's pretty awesome.
We've got a couple comments here coming in that say, Marlon Bates is awesome. World's worst fishing.
That guy's crazy.
World's worst fishing. He is kind of crazy. I've only seen a few of his videos, but
he'll take what do you do? Took chalk, ground it up, made some plastics out of it. Kool-Aid, like shit like that.
Sounds like Vulgar Chef.
He's like, oh yeah, so I got some Kool-Aid
I love Vulgar
mix.
Chef.
We're gonna mix into some shit and make some. It's like, what the fuck?
I gotta heat it up a little. Hold on. I'm trying to change the cartridge on my weed pen. Hold on. She's stuck on there, boys.
I love Vulgar Chef. He's from my area. He's from Holyoke.
Yeah, I was guessing. Wasn't he in a hardcore band too?
I think he was. I think he's a guitar player.
And I'll just give you this if you want.
But I mean, his Instagram is hilarious. Like, I mean, you talk about he'll take and make like this crazy, like super fancy 5-star dish out of like, items you find at Racing Mart. Like
he took the dirty acid back in the day.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he definitely did.
Hilarious.
Whoa.
Hey,
wow, right?
Bobby, I had to think about it, but I think about the geekiest. Oh my God, Cody's dying.
Cody's dying.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Stay out of the damn oil.
That's what happens when you change the cartridge.
3X is fishing. Asks, do y'all like hardcore punk? That's a rabbit hole that I could go down for hours.
Yeah, we could go real deep on that one, dude.
Yeah, like how hardcore are we talking here? You know.
So I'm not like
punk,
I'm not into like
punk can get
hardcore
real
stuff.
hardcore.
I just
Punk can get,
recently
like, blood
found
for
out about
blood
G.G. Allen.
G.G. Allen is a favorite. Yeah.
Hey, how about actually for me, personal experience, and we're good friends until they all died.
Yep.
Anal cunt.
Oh, AC is great, man. I'm a big fan of like New York hardcore bands like Agnostic Front, Madball.
Nice.
I mean, even getting outside of that area into like, you know, some of the like before Hatebreed was Hatebreed, like I was really into like Josta 14 and stuff like that.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah,
Jamie
I've
too?
been down that road. Yeah.
You heard it.
Known him since I was like 17.
I got to tell you guys, if you're interested in hardcore punk music, follow up on Rick to Life from the band 25 to Life. He's lost his goddamn mind. Chris knows what I'm talking about, right? Right?
Rick to
I've been
Life.
around.
Oh man. Yeah.
And then you don't find a Massachusetts boy that's not absolutely head over heels in love with Converge.
Yeah, right on, man.
You don't
Good
find
friends.
that. So
good.
Hey,
friends.
DC, come get this motherfucker! Holy fuck, that thing about killed me. Hey, everybody, that's my homeboy Derek. There's Derek.
What up,
There's
Derek? You drowned rat.
Glad to see you're alive, Derek.
That's the drowned rat.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my goodness.
We got
Jane Doe. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, now we're in trouble. The boss is watching. Ken Wood is watching. Says, "Dude's crazy." Yeah, dude is crazy. He is crazy.
You are welcome.
Oh man.
Bobby,
Cody is the Lemmy of fishing officially.
What's that, Sean?
He is the Lemmy Kilmister of fishing.
Yeah, Cody is.
Love this dude.
Cody definitely is.
Yep.
I got about 19 hours of Ken's music ahead of me.
Yeah.
And Ken's all over the place with his music. He's got a wide palette of taste for tunes. Bobby, I had to think about it, but nerdiest site for our nerdiest YouTube channel that I dig into is Kayak Hacks Fishing. That's a guy from Florida.
Geeky. Yes, I have. You introduced me to that.
Completely lifted a ton of his shit, and I'm happy to say it. He's got a lot of great stuff. He did a couple of compilations that were 75 or 80 hacks each video, and I mean I still use I don't know, probably 10 of them, a dozen of them. He doesn't give a shit. He'll mod his kayak any which way. He doesn't care.
I will say the nice thing is about his channel is like it might be the simplest little modification, but his videos are only as long as they need to be to introduce you and show you how. Like he gets right into like, hey, this is what we're talking about, and it's just awesome. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I live for that shit though.
And he's good. He's good too about like if he tries to take a shortcut. He'll tell you, well, I fucked up. Don't do this.
No such thing as shortcuts.
Yeah, well, there was one with adhesives where he tried and it didn't go well. So he was like,
shortcuts equal long fucks.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, shortcuts equal your boat base, your seat shearing off the base and going eating shit in the water in 50-degree water. That's what shortcuts equal to.
Man, good stuff. Good freaking stuff.
So it's not a fishing channel, but y'all ever heard of Z Frank on YouTube?
No,
I don't think so.
So he does it's called true stories about octopus or true stories about cuttlefish or true stories about dogs. It is fucking comical. Z Frank, check him out. ZEFRANK.
Does he do the narration and it's comedic and he's just like, you'll notice the cuttlefish takes
that's
zero.
Him.
Yeah.
That's him. Correct.
I've seen videos, but not on YouTube. I didn't realize that he had a channel. That's freaking awesome. I'm all about that. Guys, let's go ahead. It's 9:14 right now. Let's pick a winner for our giveaway.
Pick a winner.
Pick a
Oh,
winner.
it's me. Thank you.
Let's see what we have here. We're going to go ahead. Oh, first I have to open up Instagram and grab the link. So we've got like a couple hundred comments, I think, on this one post, this one meme that I had posted today. I just shared it, and it was one of these baits has to go: crankbaits, spinner baits, jigs, frogs, or creature baits. And there was it was unbelievable. I said spinner baits.
Spinner baits.
Lots of people were with me with that. Frogs were, I think, number 2.
I've never caught a fish on a frog. Can't
and
believe
then
it.
Crankbaits.
You need to put some time in, bro.
I do, and I have, and it's crazy.
Oh.
Let's do this.
I have been bit. I've been bit. I've been pulled into the fucking weeds and then lodged in, and then never connected.
2 summers ago, it connected for me, and I immediately caught the second biggest bass of my life, and I didn't have a scale. She could have been pushing 7 pounds. She was
I believe it.
And then all I do now is frog. So, and you catch giants.
I got a pole specifically for it this year. So
you got to have the right spots too. You got to be in the right places where they're gonna eat frogs, too.
Right.
What do you got, Bobby?
That's a lot of it.
You got to be like, oh, this is like I hear bullfrogs. You know what I mean? Like, can't tell you the amount of time I've caught like just the best fish of the day on a frog or the night. I use them at night too.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Fish big swim baits, big wake baits when there's no slop. And as soon as I get the slop, I'm throwing, or pads, I'm throwing a frog. And I throw like the big spro.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got the box.
The big spro.
Oh, yeah, that's a big toad.
That is a big ass fucking frog.
Like this is a normal frog. Where am I here?
Yeah.
Those are the roar frogs, right?
Yeah, this one, yeah.
Taya's outing you, saying that our home is decorated with Todd's frogs.
It's true.
Because that's what you do. Like, after they get torn up, you save them, right? Like little trophies, right?
Yeah.
I would do the same thing, man.
Fuck yeah.
Like, I hang them behind the studio.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
That's
like me
awesome.
with my Yamamoto crankbaits that got discontinued like 8 years ago, and I still have like 1,000 of them, and they're awesome.
That's dope.
You got to take good care of those. Winner of
our today. I didn't get any bites on it, but that thing runs pretty well.
Winner of our contest for we're giving away this jig kit right here. And a Jigs and Big sticker is Bryce Harp. He's I.sue.4.u. Apparently, he's a lawyer. So we're going to go ahead and hook him up.
They're good people to know.
That's what I'm saying. You never know when it's going to come in handy. I will get his card for you, Cody, so that way you're covered.
I got one on a retainer, buddy. I don't need one.
That's such an amateur move on
money
my part,
can buy, buddy.
That's good. That's a very smart man. Although, actually, I'm expecting that this podcast might need an attorney handy. So we'll see what happens. We got Dan Griffin says, yeah, Champlain Ford Tioga. Taya says, I found one on the floor after you left. I think the cat was playing with it. That's always good for cats. Sharp hooks and cats. Becca gives 0 fucks
Tioga?
right now.
I don't think Ford ever made a Tioga.
I love it.
We got our Panera delivered.
Oh, there you go.
I had a cat. I had a cat pull a treble hook through my thumb one day. I was tying on a lure.
Hold on. Cody, hold on. Cat, what was the drug?
Who knows? I was in high school. I could have been on acid, weed, coke, and
unknown.
Mescaline.
All right.
MDMA.
Authority figure. Hospital staff?
No, I did that one myself. I clipped it off, pulled it out myself. Yeah. But anyway, I was tying on a hula popper.
Man, self-surgery.
I was tying on a hula popper, and my buddy's cat grabbed the slack line.
Oh no!
And took off with it, and pulled one of the treble hooks all the way through the base of my thumb, through my thumbnail. Boom! Popped it out my fucking thumbnail.
Yeah.
I wanted to kill that motherfucker.
That's not good.
Start a YouTube channel. and it should just be called like Cody's Fishing Stories. And you don't.
I'm doing it on Bigs and Jigs. That's Bigs and Jigs are hooking me up with that.
Hey, who's Bigs and Jigs?
Jugs and bugs, Cody.
Jigs
Jugs
and Bigs.
bugs.
man.
Hey,
Bugs and
I just
bugs.
hit a 97% sativa weed pen, so come on, man. Give me a break.
We got Big Nasty jumping in here. Says no, he was on crank and not the bait.
Big nasty, boy. Big nasty.
Frog Champlain for Ticonderoga. Heaven shit. Good frog fishing. Fat fingers. I hear you, Dan. It's all good. We got a question for Becca though. What's your opinion, Becca, on the Guggen revolver? Are they hitting top water down there yet?
There's a whole video coming out, hopefully within the next couple of days, and I'm actually editing it right now.
Perfect.
I'm not kidding. Out of every video that I put out before, this is a video you have to watch. I caught maybe 100 topwater fish just on the revolver in one day.
Are you for real? That's awesome.
Dude, it wasn't even funny. Like, I lost count. I have to take fish catches out at this point because the video's gonna be too long.
Just make it 3 minutes.
I want to get the revolvers in the store so bad.
They're in the
They're in the stores down here.
Yeah, down here they are.
Yeah, I can't get them yet. Neither the Guggen rods. Can't get those either.
Oh my God, you're gonna have lines around the freaking block for that, which is why I want to get the arc rods while I can.
Yeah. I got
John,
one set aside.
I'm trying out that 6 cents on Saturday, Joe.
I just got some more 6 cents rods in too. They're nice.
Oh.
I actually, so someone came in looking. I ordered them a 7.9 heavy for swim baits, the Milliken rod.
Yep.
So we'll see how that works out for one of my pro staffers. So
You know, Joe,
while I have it on go ahead.
I was throwing one of those provokes that I picked up last time I was there, and man, I got to tell you, I'm impressed with that. Like stops, like brand new brakes. It's unbelievable. That's a great jerk bait.
Yeah,
I gotta head out, guys.
See you, Bill.
Bill, hey,
Later,
thank you,
Bill.
buddy.
Have a good night, guys.
You
Yes,
have a
sir.
good
You
one,
too.
man.
You
Happy
too.
St. Patty's Day.
Yes, happy St. Patty's Day. Talk to you guys later.
Later.
Take care, man.
So have you guys seen Milliken's new video with the Texas video he did?
No.
With the biggest bag or the biggest fish on? Yeah, that's an insane
Yeah.
day. Him and Zark.
5 fish bag.
Yeah. Ridiculous. I mean, that dude is a hammer. You know, I mean, just
It was ridiculous. The eyes on that bass, it looked like one of those old keychains that you squeeze and the fucking eyes pop out. Like
that's exactly what I thought. It was like he went to like Hobby Lobby and put like googly eyes on a bass. I mean, it's just like that doesn't even look. That is insane.
it was like an inch and a half off the bass.
Wonder why those big bass, big bass, their eyes get like that. Is it because of a depth thing that they stay in? They get ripped up out of it like a cod. You know, if you bring a cod, when you bring cods up real fast, their swim bladder fills and it bulges their fucking eyes out. You know what I mean?
I thought it was relative to the weight for their frame. I'm not 100% sure though. I mean, I'd have to ask a professional. Swamp Rat Alex is jumping in, says, did you see the guy that came in and cleaned up after Milliken? I did not. I'm not sure. So Phyllis, 3 days. Oh, that's what it is. He says 3 days and 20 fish over 8.
Wow.
That's insane.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
They are.
I'd bust a nut right in my pants.
It was like 30 degrees when they were going out. Like they're in full winter gear too.
Rodney Askey says, are you guys allowed to talk about Guggen and Milliken at the same time? Yeah, absolutely we are.
Don't give a fuck.
We are.
We talk about fishing and
a little quiet.
Yeah, we do. We talk about shitting in bibs and tying your best knot. I mean, we'll go anywhere with this.
The balloon knot is the best knot.
Oh,
Joe, what kind of oil are you using? Are you using oil right now or a degreaser, Joe?
DLP.
What do you, hey, Mr. Joe, what are you putting together there?
Just a little work. Just a little work.
A little freedom package. Just nothing.
223 308. What do we got there?
What you got there, Joe?
Joe pleads this.
Oh,
Hey, Sean, but while I have it on my mind, so Teddy Forget came in today.
oh yeah.
Hey.
I think he's talking about maybe hopping on the MAKB.
I saw he's got a kayak.
Hey.
Yep.
Love
He's a
to see
weapon,
him.
man. He puts in his time.
I see them on Chronic Trips. He gave me a run. Me and him in the first tournament. He went second and went third by 1 point.
Yeah, he's got a boat on the way. He's got a kayak now.
He knows he
man.
can't pull. He knows these tournaments don't involve lake trout, right?
Oh, he's a lake trout freaking beast.
Yeah, he's an animal with the Lakers.
Dude, those fish are insane. I'm so glad I caught one this winter. I'm hooked. I think Becca and I are going to do way too much Laker fishing next
Yeah,
winter.
Christ. How many fucking Lakers did you get, Ty?
Yeah, you guys were getting on Lakers.
That was a lot. That was awesome.
From what I understand, they like chum as they're getting pulled up. Basically, they'll like puke up what's in their belly. So like you can have days out there that make the days that I had out there look like we suck at fishing.
Really?
Well, because they get in like a frenzy because there's chum everywhere because they keep puking. They're
like bluefish.
And they
like bluefish.
Yep, exactly like that. And
Yep.
so it just creates a freaking chum fest. It's actually illegal to chum in the state of Maine where we were going.
But they're doing it for you.
And they say that, and they do it for
Yeah,
you.
they do. Yeah, bluefish it.
Huh.
So what do they do? It's just like a vomit fest?
They gorge them. If it's like bluefish, they gorge themselves.
Uh-huh.
It's like, because we're fishing like 100 foot of water.
Oh, yeah.
So by the time they get into like 40, they're like, okay. You know, like,
all right, yeah.
Come up out of there.
That makes sense.
So I went up to Maine. When was this? The last weekend of February, trying to chase Lakers. Man, I got a couple of brook trout, but we couldn't find that Laker bite. Actually, John Connon came up and made that trip with me.
Yep, nice.
What lake did you go to?
Wayman, something like that. Some guy posted on Maine Fishing. He had like an ice hut for rent. We rented it for like $200 for the weekend. Sleep in it, got like the heater, everything. It was good. So we got hit with snow Saturday. And we couldn't like see 5 feet in front of you.
Well, that's crazy.
Oh, so this is Wild Bill jumping in here. He says, had to jump off. My youngest woke up and wanted me upstairs to answer the question. I don't watch anything geeky because I'm very cool. Also, thanks for having me on. The privilege to chop it up with all of you, Bill. That's awesome, man. He is very cool. You know, I will say, he mentions the geeky stuff. And we're talking about the lake trout basically purging when they get reeled up like that. That's one thing about this channel, the nature of fishing, that I have never seen on another channel before for YouTube, is he will catch, like there was one series I was watching about pre-spawn patterns, and he would catch just an absolute beast. And on him, he has various pumps so that he can take a sample of what's in their stomach and look at what they're eating. And like it's really like it looks like a big old turkey baster, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he's got different sizes for different size fish or different species. Wow. I've never seen anybody get that much into it, but he's like, you can see here that here's a decaying, crawfish, or you can tell that obviously by their gums, but here's some of the other forage that's in this pond. He's like, and this tells you so much.
You don't have to kill it.
We always, when I'm working on the boat in the ocean, like I'm slicing up a billion fish, I look all the time.
That's one thing.
It's funny how much you'll see like the baits you've been using. Like when we went cod fishing, freaking clams, and it's so many of those gone because they just pick the bait off half the time. They're just bait stealers, and then you catch one, and their bellies are like full of it.
Even bass, though, how many times do you get them with a small hanging halfway out their throat?
Yep. I've found multiple bass with like hooks coming out of their batole.
Out of their ass, yeah.
Right out of it.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Freaking.
All right, y'all.
It's like
I'm getting out of here.
offset hook, and you're like, oh,
You're out,
Get
D.
it, delirious.
Yeah, I gotta go to bed.
Later, homie.
Being an
y'all.
adult and having a job, in the morning, man, you're being responsible.
Well, I gotta get plow trucks ready to go for Friday, so
No fun.
Oh, it's that bad, huh?
That's what they're saying.
We have a new boss, so he's trying to be like, I'm top dog. So we're like, fuck.
Where are you, Western Mass?
He's in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're in Connecticut too? Shit.
Yeah. Where do you live? You want me to come find you?
I'm from Connecticut.
Then you're lucky.
now I'm in Mass.
He's a masshole, just like the rest of us.
But I'm a Connecticut.
Just like most. Actually, yeah, just pretty much most of us.
Hell yeah! All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night now.
All right, you
too,
take care,
dude.
D. Thanks for hanging out, man. Sláinte.
Where did Ellie go?
I have a feeling that Swedish beer kicked her ass.
She's still walking.
And the cookies.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why are you gonna start making cookies this time of night?
So I gotta ask, how'd you get the nickname Bobby Roast Beef?
Bobby, you guys want the real story?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, is it because you like roast beef?
That's a given. I mean, all you have to do is take one good look at this sumptuous body that I have, and you'll know. But really, so how many of you guys have seen the movie Goodfellas?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a play off of the character Johnny Roast Beef, who met a very untimely end, and I'm hoping not to relive that. But I had a conversation back when I was playing in bands with a guy that I played bass with, and this dude and I were like, because I was a drummer for a while, and this dude and I were like, as a rhythm section, were like so much alike. And he grew up, he's from Staten Island, and he was just a character, man. And the only difference between the two of us was that he was vegetarian and I very much was not. And it's one day we're at our rehearsal space and, we're just, I'm setting up my drum kit. We're getting things together. And he's asking me how the weekend was. And there's a crazy story about my wife and I and our kids and everything. Like we have a very interesting story as a couple. But there was a time where I had my oldest daughter over for the weekend. He's like, oh, that's great, man. You were just hanging out, you and your daughter, all Bobby Roast Beef style. And he knew I was a fan of that movie. And I was just like, dude, that's going to stick. We're going to keep that one around. This is 2005. And I wasn't DJing a whole lot there, but I was really sick of using the name DJ Bobby or DJ whatever for like people's events. I'm like, I'm just going to switch this up and go for it. And it's stuck ever since. So that's what it is. I got it from this Matt Silverstein is the bass player in question from when we were in the band Prescription America. And he gave me the name and it just stuck. And that was in 2005. And now it's been Bobby Roast Beef ever since. All my social media handles, I try to incorporate it with. And I'm going to, for my trivia teams, I'm going to start selling some new Bobby Roast Beef merch, some parody stuff. So I'm going to do a Biggie Smalls parody shirt. I'm going to do a Tony Soprano parody shirt. And all of these like the Biggie Smalls one will be a drawing of me with the crown, that famous BIG image, but it'll say on the top, it'll say Notorious and then BRB at the bottom. So that's the plan. So it's all marketing, What's that?
Goodfellas.
Oh yeah, well, Goodfellas definitely has happened. I think Goodfellas is probably going to end up being like the album artwork of Pesci, De Niro, and Liotta together, and it'll basically be myself, Sean, and either Ellie or Cody. I think is what's going to end up being.
Or fucking Howie at this point.
Oh, it should be Howie. Hold on a second.
You guys like RoboCop?
Go ahead.
Of course. RoboCop.
Doesn't like RoboCop.
Okay, can you name or say all of Clarence Boddicer's catchphrases and make them relate to fishing?
You going to bed?
No.
Can you? You obviously can. You're prepared, Chris.
That was my youngest daughter. She's like, how long are you going to be on this live? I'm like, we got people to entertain. I'm in a group of very important individuals right now.
All right, so Bobby,
fire away.
You're familiar with RoboCop?
I love RoboCop.
Clarence Boddicer.
Clarence Boddicer.
Yep.
Is
the
that
main The main bad guy. The guy who was on that 70s show.
Red from that 70s show.
Red from that 70s show.
Gotcha.
So he's got like a whole bunch of classic lines from that movie. Can you make them relate to fishing?
Off the top of my head, no. But
all right.
I'm going to go
Number
ahead.
one.
Okay.
Go ahead. No, you got one. Go. Do it.
I'm going to swap Cody out because he's trying to log in. There we go. There he is. He's back.
Hey, fucking
I hear the bark.
Off the top of my head, I couldn't put that together, but go ahead, fire a line at me.
All right, number one. Fishes leave.
Fishes leave?
Bitches leave.
Bitches leave. I don't know. What do you got for me? Anything? Tip me in another direction.
That one.
Callie, shut up.
The big podcast.
Can you fly fish, Bobby?
Can you? Oh, there you go. Very nice. Very, very nice. I haven't watched RoboCop in a minute. I mean, I was probably in high school the last time I had rewatched it, but
my son had recently asked me if he could watch it, and I was like, no.
Probably.
Let's ask him.
Not yet. No.
Wicked young.
Searching for fish. We all say weird things. What's your famous movie quote when you're out there looking for fish and stuff?
Oh, mine?
Yeah. I know you entertain yourself out there on the water when the bite isn't good.
Oh,
Dude,
yeah, absolutely.
Bobby, let me answer this. Nate, you
Go
fished
for
with
it.
us. It's not a movie quote. It's the Jerky Boys.
That's the
Because
thing.
you hear it.
I
you
love
hear
the
it echoing
Jerky
across.
Boys. Oh my god.
You hear it echoing.
My bass and it disappeared to the crowd.
The Mickey Mouse call. You hear it echoing across lakes when Bobby and I are fishing, or Nelson. There'll just be a quick. You'll hear a splash from across the lake, and then just echoing. You'll hear nibblers. And that's, Nate, you know it. You fish with us. Nibblers.
But I gotta say, I go around and John Ferreira does it too. He's been on the comments there. We'll go around and we'll be like, Larry, where's Larry?
Oh, yeah.
Now, we were night fishing one time at Lake Maspinock in Hawkins. We were fishing for the KBF event. It's like 2 a.m. in the morning, and me and John are out there fucking around. Larry, some lady came running out her home. We didn't even notice her until she was on shore, and she was like, "Are you looking for somebody? Is he okay?"
I'm looking for Larry.
In the morning are like, "No, we're just delusional. The bite's off. We're just talking to ourselves."
It's crazy out here. It's okay, lady.
That's kind of hilarious because my buddy Paul, I talk about on the podcast all the time, does the same thing.
Bro,
He'll be pitching to a piece of cover, and he's just like, Larry, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? He had to explain it to me. I feel like such an idiot.
Dude, when the bite isn't there, you got to call him in.
You do.
Gotta talk him up. You gotta talk him up.
Dude, I've stuck my head in the hole to call him up. You got to do what you got to do.
Gotta talk them fuckers up,
bro. You're just gonna blow the bass whistle.
You do have to blow the bass whistle often.
The bass whistle calls him in every time.
Hey, Nate, speaking of night fishing, do you want to relay your story of the creepiness over at the Nip?
Oh, dude, don't ever night fish. Bridgewater Triangle is such a real thing, dude.
I've heard.
So, we have a tournament there this year, and I'm honestly contemplating it because I've only ever fished the Nip twice, and both times it's been at night. And let me tell you, at night, that place is haunted as fuck. Dude.
Yeah, really? It's bad?
Dude, I've heard voices, Bobby, that sounded like it was right here. I'm gonna go by myself, and I heard.
Did you hang out with Cody first?
Dude, nah, I was drug free on this one. But I heard somebody saying "What are you doing? Get out!" And I checked the shoreline, nothing. So I'm like, all right, cool. Little bit sketchy. Went to go get out. I'm in 7 feet of water, no weeds, no nothing. My rudder starts picking up and slamming shut. I was like, dude, fuck this place. Fuck this
Jason.
place. It's not. Yeah, the Bridgewater Triangle is definitely a real thing.
I'd say the same thing about Lake Chauncey in Westboro because there's a mental hospital right on the banks.
I've been there. I've never night fished it, but I've fished.
Yeah, I guess you're not supposed to do that either.
I've fished Little Chauncey as well.
I couldn't even imagine.
I used to live right there in Northbridge, like 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm out of here. I'll see you.
Joe,
See you, Joe.
Good
See you,
stuff,
Mr. Joe.
I'm going to see you soon. Take care, buddy.
Lift some more weights. God damn it.
I love it, man. So,
Get fucking bigger, won't you?
Nate threw me a DM over here. He says, "Are we still going to talk fishing tattoos?" Yes, let's talk fishing tattoos.
Oh my God.
Ready?
Yes.
Hey, Bobby, can I show you all something real fast?
Oh, go for it.
So here's my new seat base.
Oh, there you go, man.
There's more
not going
shearing
anywhere.
off and eating fucking shit anymore in my life.
Go, man.
No more drowned.
That's not going to go anywhere. So I'm looking at getting a new another tattoo, and I want to make this one a fishing tattoo. And the nice thing is about being in your mid 40s and getting your first tattoos is that you stop giving a shit about anything. Like I'm all about going comical. I'm thinking about doing a largemouth tattoo for this one.
Oh,
and
you don't
the
want to
text, huh?
Just my face.
Well, that's something different. We're going to talk about that afterwards. I'm going to have California draw it up. It'll be great. It'll be a caricature, if you will.
Dude, can you get one of like you holding a bass and Sean holding a bass and jigs and digs?
No, we've got the duck quesadilla design down, Nate. I'm sorry, we're too far down that path.
We've uncovered that. The waterfowl, that's the theme. So I'm thinking about doing like a nice pose, like big, huge, just a slaunch. And I want to have it say in really pretty text, hot girl shit around the thing. Because, it's timely for what's going on now. I think that's going to be it. I initially wanted to have something motivational with the recent segment we did with Mitch about the P system is, perseverance, preparation, all this stuff. And I could work that in, but I'm thinking that might be the strat is to do like a really nice, like portrait style, like beautiful piece and have it just say hot girl shit going right around it. I think that's.
Now, where are you thinking about putting this? Because
my neck right here.
Yeah.
No, I'm not 100% sure.
Like, is it going to be a tramp stamp that says
under your necktie?
Like,
nice. Bobby.
I feel so bad for Ben Regal. Ben, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're gonna have a fucking job. I have an amazing tattoo artist that I love to give my money to. And
dude, believe
I feel bad. You want to talk about somebody who's into the hardcore and stuff? His first show with one of his last bands was with Sheer Terror in Burlington, Vermont. Just killer show. Terror. Unbelievable. Oh, Sean's face on largemouth ass body.
One. I don't know if you can see it. You probably can't. What way I fucking hold this? What the fuck?
Hang on, I'm going to give you a full screen there, Chris. Hold that right where it is, so I can give you it, so everybody can see this.
Yours?
This is yours.
This kid does some really sick ink, man.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
Is that on
dude,
you?
that's awesome. Man.
No, it's not. It's this dude named. He's on the Instagram. It is Drew LR, I think.
Drew LR. I'll check
Drew
it. Oh, wait,
LR.
hold on. You know what's funny? Swamp Rat just goes real talk. Look up Drew LR on Instagram.
Boom, there he is.
Yeah. I'll check it. I'll check it out, man. I've been following
really
this
nice,
one Instagram
man.
called Fishing Tattoos, and there's all kinds of stuff. Like I only have two. I have two. I have one that my wife and I got two matching coffee cups, and then I actually have a trivia tattoo, a big piece on my arm here. That's a trivia tattoo. And which sounds ridiculous, and the more I say it, it really is. But like again, mid 40s, this is what happens. You stop caring, And I think we're probably going to do something like that. I do think a tramp stamp of a giant largemouth saying "hot girl shit," just because then I could do it vertically, or horizontally. I could do it horizontally that way.
Nice target.
This poor bastard.
Jesus.
Now, Todd, you might not be hip to what exactly he's talking about, but if you watch the Hookset Hoodlums YouTube channel, the last episode of Fishing for
Watch it
Answers,
tonight, Todd. Watch it tonight.
Oh, blow the bass whistle and then watch the 4 episodes. It's very, very, very interesting.
It's highly entertaining.
Highly.
I didn't see any of that coming from anywhere. I was like, wow. Fuck yeah, man.
But it will explain exactly what Cody's talking about. That's a nice target. Oh.
So Bobby, you could always go something like covert, because I mean, 2 out of my large 3 tattoos are fishing related or outdoors related, but they're they're not like obvious. You know what I mean? I mean, like my leg one, all my tattoos are cover-ups. So I had small tattoos to start, and then, over the past 10 years, I had a decent job and said, you know what, I'm going to get this shit fixed. And I go to a member of my extended family at Greylock Tattoo up in Northampton, and Chris has taken care of me. So he's been great. So including the first one where I was very specific on something I wanted, and he, I don't like doing that anymore. I don't like going into his studio and saying, I want this exactly. I want his interpretation of something. And that's where artists will have more fun with it.
Yeah.
So,
I agree.
So my arm sleeve is fantastic. He did a great job with it. Not fishing related, but the cover up I did on my back, that one was first. And I had said, I had a goofy little nerd related thing on my back for years and years and years. It was just a shitty tattoo, and I designed it, and it was not good. And I came to him and I said, look, I want because he's a classical tattoo artist. So something you'd see on sailors in the 1950s. You know what I mean? Like,
gotcha.
Eagles, or just that classic style. Yeah. So I said, look, I'm looking to have an osprey grabbing a fish. And he said, okay. And he called me up. He said he called me up and said, hey, I got the design for you. And I got to the studio, and I swear to God, it was like rolling out the blueprint for a building. I'm like, oh my God, that's the biggest fucking tattoo of all time. It's huge. It takes up, I mean, I'm 6'4", and it takes up 2/3 of my back. And it's a beautiful osprey
tapestry.
Grabbing. Yeah, it's an osprey grabbing a perch. And it started out, I said, let's do a bass. And then when he went through it, it kind of looked more like a perch. And I had said, well, you know what? Why don't we make this into a perch? He hadn't colored it yet, just done the outline. And I gave him I actually gave him a floating Rapala with the perch pattern and said, make it like this, because on my arm, he did a lot of yellows and oranges. And I thought they really popped. And I said, let's work the yellow and the orange into that perch. And it looks great. And then the second one he did, that was a cover up on my leg. Chris, you're going to laugh at this. In my younger days, the first band that led me off the radio, into realms of metal was Dream Theater, because they weren't getting a lot of radio play. And I really got into Dream Theater for a few years. So I had the same Dream Theater logo that a million Dream Theater fans have, their
so
little
then
Majesty
you
logo.
saw Dream Theater with the Galactic Cowboys at Riverside, right?
I did not. The first time I saw Dream Theater was with that man right over to right here, Mr. Bobby Roast Beef.
Yep.
We saw them we saw them at the LNG in Providence in New London. New London, excuse me. New London, yeah. So we saw them in New London. It was was it 2 days before New Year's '96?
It was. It was right before New Year's, and it was
an added show. They put a second show on the bill.
Tour.
Yeah. So they were covering all those covers. But so I had that Dream Theater tattoo around my leg for years with real classy, some 3 strands of barbed wire around it just to make it look like a band.
God.
And when I went,
the barbed wire.
I am more proud of you.
The 90s, I know. So
this is why I'm so glad I waited until I was in my 40s to be like, let's get a hot sauce tattoo. Why not?
But the tattoo I have now, when I went back to my buddy Chris,
drunk tattoos are great.
I know.
Robbie, don't look over them.
Bad 90s. Bad 90s.
Yeah, there goes some tribal shit.
It's even. This is the best. It's backwards.
Oh, isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Dude,
so the cover up I got was one of my favorite techniques when I was doing pen and ink drawings was pointillism or stiltism, where you just do a million dots and you texture things that way, and there's no straight lines. It's all dots.
It's all dots, shading.
Yeah, I found this one guy somewhere had on his wrist the tattoo of in pure black the silhouette of a bunch of pine trees on a lake, and then the silhouette the reflection was done in pointillism, and it faded into his wrist. I was so taken by that. I'm like, wow, I never thought that could be done in tattooing. And my buddy Chris hooked it up, and he said, yeah, so around my leg I have whatever 10 pine trees with their reflections in the water. And the funny thing was, like, us being up in Massachusetts, when we go out to Cape Cod or go anywhere near the coast, every fucking business has a picture on it of a beach, a seagull, a sunset, and the ocean. Everyone. It could be an insurance company. It could be a local bakery. It doesn't matter. Everything has
take advantage of it.
Flip-flops.
In Minnesota, every business has a sunset, a pine tree, and water. So when I got this done, I was summertime up in Minnesota. I don't know how many people stopped me and said, "Hey, Northwoods." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" "Oh, your leg." I'm like, "Oh, well, I just went with pine trees. We got plenty of them, But after like the third or fourth person, I'm like, "Yeah, Northwoods, you got it. Yeah, it was good stuff." But
Northwoods, right?
Northwoods, beauty. So, yeah, I'm not going to get into my arm tattoo. That's nerd related, and it's just mine, and I'm leaving it alone. But yeah,
No,
it was
fine.
Yeah,
my shameful tattoo is cocaine related. I had a big 8-ball cocaine tattooed on my arm for the longest time.
Are you fucking kidding?
I thought that was going in a different direction. Of you did an 8-ball and then we got a tattoo.
No,
we got to start a whole new podcast with just.
I used to do a lot of 8-balls, so I was like, man, I love fucking 8-balls, and everybody thought I was like some kind of pool shark. But no, it's totally
It's just convenient.
Like, you shoot pool, and I was like, nah, I snort cocaine. 8-ball, cocaine, not pool, cocaine.
That's fucking dedication to your craft right there, Cody. If you got a tattoo of it.
I was fully immersed. Let's put it that way.
And then Alex jumps in with the best comment ever. Of course, Cody does. Berkshire Brett chimes in here, says, "I wish I could share pictures on here. My buddy has a whole scene on his back of trout jumping with trees in a sunset and pheasant flying off on the shoreline." See, that's just amazing. That's just beautiful. At this point, I just want it. Cody, you've got a cheering section at this point.
Yeah.
Lauren's all about it. Joel is loving life.
No cocaine shirt.
I'm gonna quote that from now on. Just Sean, next time we're fishing, you're gonna hear, "Hey, Sean, you shoot pool?"
No.
Oh my God, no cocaine, and then you'll hear nibblers.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Who would have thought that like you could get a couple of dozen people together on a live stream and just tell a bunch of inside jokes for 2 hours, and it's amazing because we've consistently had a good amount of people watching this. It's pretty impressive.
I'm gonna shoot cocaine and rip you up like a Newport.
I'm gonna whip Newports. I'm gonna shoot cocaine. I'm gonna catch nibblers. That's what I came here to do.
Cody's looking for new sponsors for fishing. Newport cigarettes, please.
Pablo Escobar, Newport cigarettes. Come on.
Come on.
Hey, speaking of that, so Nate, you're in on it, and I know Wild Bill's gone, but a couple years ago for MAKB, there was a video done for the drawing for who was going to face who in the first round of the knockout tournament.
Senix.
Yes, and Alan apparently had a few too many fireballs. That was his drink, and he did it, and he couldn't pronounce anyone's name. So when it came to Nelson, Nelson DaCosta, pretty easy to pronounce. It's Costa, and there's a DA in front of it.
Yep.
He looked at the camera and went, Nelson, fuck it, Pablo Escobar.
Dude, did you hear mine with him? So
I don't remember.
They were down in Tennessee, and Mike Elrick had just caught big bass at the national championship and won some money, and it was my rookie year. So Alan goes, Mike Elrick versus Nate. You don't stand a fucking chance.
Yeah, that was an interesting reading because it was funny with the mispronunciations, but the year before,
best reading ever.
Yeah, the year before, he had filled in for my opponent. My opponent actually had to go back to Texas for the first round, and I was the only guy out west that was going east to be in this tournament. Now it's going to be a lot more, Western guys in it this year. But I felt bad for him because the guy that I was fishing against from Texas knew how to fish timber, and we went to the A1 site out in Westboro, which is all timber. It's like deadly timber.
Today. Drove by it today. It was open.
Is it good? Oh,
yeah.
Hey,
so I'll be out there anyways. But
boys,
it's
don't
deadly.
talk about it too much. Our first tournament's there.
Yeah, well, if you don't know how to fish timber, then that's a problem. And Alan wasn't very versed in it, and he stepped in for that guy. So he, I was coming off all this learning I did in Oklahoma, and I was so fired up to fish timber. So he kind of walked into a buzzsaw. So when he did the reading, he remembered my name, and he just went, so-and-so versus Sean Dominic. He went right up to the camera and went, he's good.
I had to say though, man, Alan's a hell of a stick. That man did place second in the KBF trail on the Charles River, and he's out in Ohio now. But
he was here.
A hell of a stick.
He was here for a few years for work, and then moved to Ohio. So
appreciate you, Swamp Rat. Thanks for sticking around, man.
Later, Swamp Rat.
Later. Thank you. Get working on that cocaine shirt.
How many people we got still watching this shit show?
Still like 20. That's not too bad. Yeah, it's been pretty good.
The state of entertainment in America is so low.
It really is
horrible.
We're taking advantage
Have
of
you guys seen Coming to America?
You people have nothing
it's
better
so
to
good.
do on St. Patrick's Day.
Was it good?
It was so good. I mean, there was a lot of like, if you watch and appreciate the first one, you'll love it because there's a lot of throwback to it. It's definitely updated a little bit, but it was, I really liked it. It was really good. I think it's what is it? Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think it's Amazon Prime. It's worth it. It definitely is. Like a lot of your favorite characters are in there. Sexual Chocolate made a resurgence. It was really good. My wife and I watched it over the weekend. I think after we took my youngest daughter out for her birthday dinner. It was really good. We had some fun. Oh, good stuff, man. This is great. So I'm not forgetting, we did the winner. All right. I gotta message him. So we got a jig kit and a sticker for the winner of our contest, which is huge.
The Dude Bud jig is in there.
What do those jigs weigh in the jig kit?
The jig, all the jigs in this jig kit are 3/8.
They're all
because
3/8. Okay.
Yep, it's a real versatile size. Like it's not too big.
That's gonna be the first jig I ever throw in my life, which is going to be great.
One of these guys?
Yes.
Nice. Very nice.
Never thrown a jig. Never.
You don't
Never.
fish jigs, man?
No, dude. I fish lizards.
Dude, I'm gonna tell you right now, I had 20 bass today, all on a jig bite.
I believe it.
All
Okay,
on a
that's
jig
why I
bite.
want to get
I
on
was
it.
throwing the Ike's mini jig from Missile Baits.
Was it a finesse jig?
Not really. It's like in
Yeah.
between a finesse and a regular.
See, finesse
Throwing a Zoom Chunk Junior on the back of it, and dude, they were like, thing about jig fishing is it's not that big bite you're looking for. You barely feel them take it. It's almost like you lift it and it feels too light, and that's when you know they're on. And dude, I had.
But how much time do you usually have
today
to detect that?
As soon as you feel the tap, set the fucking hook, baby.
I had 5 occasions today. It was back-to-back casts. I mean, it was just, dude, the jig bite was on.
So what's
Nelson? The lizard. I live by it.
Oh, the lizard.
By it.
Hell yeah.
Kill it on a lizard.
I will say this. It's funny. People ask about, finesse jigs and all that stuff. So I'm going to do a solo shot here so I can hold this up to the camera. So this is the Absolutely. This is our PB&J jig, right? And what makes a finesse jig is, initially, I always thought it was about the weight. Like it had to be below a certain weight. That's really not the case. What makes it a finesse jig is the hook. And this hook here is not crazy stout. In fact, it's really aerodynamic. You'll notice
thin wire.
Yeah,
light wire, right?
It's light wire. It kind of rides that wave right here. Now up here, I've hooked some pretty big fish with this with no issues at all. But what's so cool about the way this is laid out is that if you put a paddle tail on here, this can easily double as a swim jig.
Swim jig. Yep.
And that's what's so nice about this. It's so
that's one thing I never throw.
What's that? Yeah, you know what? Me neither. I really don't. But I will tell you,
man.
Last year, while I was bed fishing, I was using, what did I put on here? Was it a Guggen? I think it was a Saucy Swimmer. I put on one of these, and I absolutely killed it bed fishing in this one spot. Now, I had never bed fished before, but the ability to be able to cast far beyond that bed and then sort of swim it back in and then kind of hop it across the bed, get right in the fish's face just to piss them off. And, you know, up here, the big forage is bluegill. So that's what I was looking to kind of emulate, something that was like, looked like a bluegill. And they will just hammer it, you know? But that's the beauty about these jigs. It's like it rides that line between a heavy flipping jig and something that's a little bit more finesse. It's really versatile.
It's definitely something though that isn't a bite like regular. You got to pay attention to.
It's interesting.
So Nate, I'm wondering how and where you're throwing them, because I mean, I'm using 20-pound fluoro and I feel that, and it's always a thump. I mean, always, like, it's complete contrast to what you're saying with my experience.
I'm throwing it on a 15-pound P-line fluorocarbon, and dude, I'm telling you, every big fish I've caught early and late season on a jig, it isn't a thump.
No,
it's like I lift and you don't feel the weight of the jig.
Yeah, that's a dead giveaway.
It's like that slack line almost, but it isn't.
So
they're holding it.
So that's one contrast. So what I do is, because I've learned over time that we talked about it on the show, I think 90%, if not more, probably 95, 96. Bobby, what we came up with some odd number. It was like 97% or some shit of my bites on a jig are on the fall.
On the drop. Yeah.
So I don't let it go slack. I don't let it go slack.
Yeah, you keep a tight, it's a tight line. You keep a tight line on the fall. Yep.
So with me today, how I was fishing was I was throwing it up on bank and about 3 feet off a bank.
Yeah, working it back.
It goes from 3
shoulder deep
to 8 feet. And it was about 2 pulls after that 8 feet. You'd just feel it light. And I'm telling you, if you didn't learn that bite or like really pay attention to it, like when I started jig fishing, I probably would have missed 90% of the fish today.
Yep.
Because it didn't have that like thump, you know, it was just
the big fish do not
light, very light, especially this time of year. I mean, every fish I pulled, big lipstick on them. They were cold, but it was just a very light bite. And I mean,
again, like doing what I do and making sure that I probably reel in a little bit more and make sure that line's tight, because I understand about losing fish like that. Because this is I'm coming on close to 10 years to really having my education in jigs in Oklahoma and learning how to use them. So the 2 fish I caught the other day when I was out by the Cape were on a wind sheltered corner with some lily pads and about 3 to 8 feet, exact drop you're talking about. There was one stick sticking out. And tighten it up. I didn't even have to bounce it off the bottom. A 14-inch slugged it, and then almost 17-inch slugged it. I mean, there was no. A lot of times with jigs, I don't get a light bite. I don't. Maybe it's a trailer I'm using. Maybe it's the weight I'm using. I don't get it. I feel it. It's very distinct. And on top of that, whenever I see timber or sticks or anything that's solid, I don't dick around with the edges. I'm going into it. And I've learned to yo-yo that through branches. So I feel that okay, top, drop, and then I make sure I reel it in a little bit more to make sure it's tight. But I always get that whack.
That's what I was fishing today, was that timber. You know, I feel it come up and over the timber, but as it falls, I'll give it that slack. And
I don't give it the slack.
You'll just the bite. I mean, it feels like nothing's there. It's in its mouth.
So the jig saying I learned in Oklahoma from my mentor, we'll call him. All right, Mike Durham. Mike's a great guy. There's the first tap is the fish taking the bait. The second tap is the fish spinning the bait. The third tap is your fishing partner tapping you on the shoulder saying, "Why didn't you set the fucking hook after the first one?"
I'll tell you, one of the things, and Rodney makes a good point. He says the beauty about jig fishing is that we're all right. He's 100% right there, because there's a school of thought where it's all about watching the line, and like that bite, Nate, that you were feeling when they pick it, because the big fish, oftentimes what they'll do is to just grab the whole thing, and you're not feeling them like pecking at it at all. They're just
they suck it in.
Yeah, they're just choking it. And when that line starts moving, that's when I'll usually just reel down a little bit and then hammer.
Yep. And then fucking cross their eyes.
I gotta
exactly, Cody. Cross their fucking eyes.
Motherfucker
I'm
up.
still waiting for that Jigs and Bigs t-shirt.
You know what? That's
I'm no jig pro, but I throw a jig 98% of the fucking time.
Yeah.
And have been for 20 plus years. So I can, at this point, I can tell the difference. I can tell if a big fish has hit my jig. And I say big, I'm talking, 4 pound, 5 pound class fish.
Yeah, decent fish.
Has hit the jig compared to a pounder or a 2 pounder. Because like you said, Bobby, when that big fish hits it, he's not or fucking hitting it on the fly or nothing like that.
Yeah.
You've drug it in front of him and he's went, open his mouth up and boom, and you felt it hit the back of his throat or his tongue, just a slight tap. And then you cross that motherfucker up as hard as you can.
Yeah.
Well, it's almost like topwater fishing. Have you guys ever noticed the difference between a big fish blow up on top water and a little fish blow up on top water?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Anything under 5 pounds, that fish will come out of the water.
It's fucking breaching.
Anything over, it opens up its mouth and it's just like
sinkhole.
You just see like a fucking whirlpool. There's no blow up. Like it's just, and it just sucks
I think there's a part of that depends on the size of the bait too. Like if you're throwing a huge topwater versus like if you're throwing like a typical, like a topwater frog, more of an average size. I think that a lot of that depends on, the size of the bait that you're throwing too. Because like I've found that with really big baits, the bites from smaller fish feel huge, because they're moving the weight of the bait on top of that,
And those smaller fish, they're hitting it. They're full of piss and vinegar, so they're coming at it hard 95% of the fucking time. They're feeding hard. Feed those big fish. They're not chasing shit. When they eat something, they're just gonna and then that's fucking it.
I was up at Lake George fishing 40 feet of water for a KBF tournament. And dude, those 8-inch smallies that were coming from 40 feet hit it like a 3 pounder. And they were a half ounce, if that, at 8 inches, But dude, rocketing up, it's amazing how big the thump is from a little fish compared to a big one.
So check this out, Nate. So I just really quick reference some of my numbers, right? So what I've come up with for tournament fishermen in the Northeast, right? Bobby, you want to address Roadkill Nick real quick? He's asking a question.
I'll do that. I gotta look up the it's I Sue for You that won the giveaway.
Cody's new lawyer.
That sounds like
Cody's new.
That sounds like somebody you call from the drunk tank late night.
So over the past 2 years,
we got such a nice boat.
What I've seen in tournaments, whether they're online monthlies or online dailies or daily tournaments, really like there's a dividing line between 17-inch fish in New England and up and below. You know what I mean? Like 17-inch fish, you start catching fish that are 17, you got a shot. All right, whether it's 5 of them, whether it's a couple with a kicker 18 or something like that, but 17 seems to be a really good number to draw the line at. Right now, obviously, there's days where bigger fish are going to go. Somebody's going to get a bag of 18s and 19s and 20s, and there's other days where somebody's going to get a bag of 14s and win it. So the past 2 years,
I consider 17 a kicker in a tournament. A 17 is absolutely a kicker.
So in the past 2 years, just in Massachusetts, I've caught 122 fish over 17, and that's all the way up to 22s. Okay. And obviously that goes just like, believe it or not, it goes like a pyramid. So I've got more 17s and 18s, more 18s and 19s, more 19s and 20s, et cetera, right?
Sure.
How many of those fish do you think I caught on jigs?
I'd say 90%.
Incorrect.
Knowing the way you fish, I'm going to say 60%.
50% of those I caught on jigs.
How many? So do you have it broken down into the bigger fish on jigs and compared to the?
Is that
no? That's a turn. That's more of a this breakdown for me was more. What am I catching big fish on? They're going to matter in tournaments.
Right.
That was the point of this graph.
So I went to the same spot I went today on Friday, and I fished a drop shot, and I caught 6 fish, and I think only one of them was over 14 inches. I went there and threw nothing but a jig today because I lost my terminal tackle on the way. So threw a jig today. I had 2 fish under 15 inches.
In my experience, Nate, and again, I'm nobody, but in my experience, a jig is always going to produce a better quality fish than a soft plastic. That's just my opinion. I could be completely wrong about that, but consistently over the years, the big fish that I have caught have been on
talking about
jigs.
Bobcat Goldweight is joining us.
That's the best Bobcat Goldweight I've ever heard. Chris, I might need you to do some Jigs and Bigs like IDs for the show. That is the best I've ever heard.
Well, this is going to go off into a nerd tangent because Chris came back as Bobcat Goldweight. So a couple years ago, my kids got into this. Do you guys remember the video games that came out? All the characters had the RF chips in them, where you could put a thing. So like Skylanders. Well, my kids got it. My kids got into Skylanders, and at first I resisted it. I'm like, I'm not paying for this shit because they're just ripping you off. There's a million of them. Then I started playing. And there's this one little guy that runs around drinking magic potion, and they got Bobcat to voice him. So he's like, ha, 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 ha. He drinks a potion. He fucking flips his shit. It's worth every penny. Yeah, it's worth every penny. Yeah, it's great. He just walks around, bobbing around, making little Bobcat noises like, and then he just loses his shit. It's great. So here's
why are you so fat? I beat the shit out of him.
Oh, greatest movie ever. One crazy summer, man. All right.
Love it, man. It's so good.
So getting onto that numbers, what else I looked up? So I got 60 fish out of the 122, so almost half, just shy of half on jigs, right? My next nearest out of all those fish is 22 on a chatterbait, and then after that, it's 14. Guess the lure. What is my third biggest big fish lure? Nope.
It's a Ned.
It is
no.
Nope, not a spinnerbait.
Lipless.
Nope.
Really?
Good guess there.
Senko.
No, it's not a Senko.
This is gonna blow your mind. The only pro I've ever
scat.
It's a drop shot.
No, the only pro I've ever heard talk about this lure is Mike Iaconelli, because he's from the Northeast.
Play bait.
What?
It's a floating Rapala.
Floating Rapala.
Yeah,
really.
That makes sense.
I was gonna say jerkbait, but I just was sitting here.
Yeah,
so,
but floating, not suspending. I work a
like
floating
DX
Rapala like a lot of pros will work, or a lot of people will work a plastic worm. I invert it in my mind. It's like, okay, so if they're up around the surface, but they're skittish, or in shallow water and they're skittish.
Yep.
Some people will use like a trick worm on the bottom, right? Bounce it around with a Texas rig very slowly, or a shaky head. If you imagine the way that a shaky head will bounce, little bounces around the bottom. And then you think of that on the surface. When you yank a Rapala down, it goes down and it comes back up. It's the same thing on the surface. So that's what I do.
Huh.
So
I haven't used
but I use fucking big ones. I don't dick around with size 9s anymore because too many 12-inch fish will hit them. Too many nibblers.
Too many squealers.
Too many fucking squealers.
My state pin brown trout came off Rapala. Actually, just not even like jerking it, but just running it down through the current.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they'll go after plenty of trout. Will go after those. Anything will eat a floating Rapala. It seems like I've narrowed down using my data that I picked up and saying, okay, guess what? Size 9s aren't working anymore because I catch a lot of fucking 12-inch fish with them, and it's not worth my time. When I started bumping up sizes, then I found a sweet spot.
So Sean, that 50% you were talking about the jigs coming on 50% of those fish 17 inches or up, that is the majority, right?
And that'll count a Ned rig because a Ned rig's a jig.
Ned rig technically is a jig.
How is it not, Nate? It's a jig head with a plastic on it.
Yeah.
It just doesn't have a skirt. So let me ask you a question. If I have a swinging
Not necessarily, because that hook's sitting more vertical than
I think it's more like a shaky head than it is a jig.
Yeah.
I would almost consider a shaky head a jig too.
It's a shaky head's a jig. It's a jig. It's literally a jig head with a plastic on it.
Yeah.
So what would you call this, right? If you've got a 3/8 ounce swinging football head and a plastic creature for a trailer, what is that? Because it's not a Ned rig.
Yeah.
Let me put it this way:
no. What is it?
when I put a Ned into angler wrap, and
What
Bobby,
is a
I know you're
what is
into
a
angler
swinging
wrap. I see the
football head
bullseye.
3/8 ounce?
Hold on, when I put a Ned into
Swinging
angler wrap,
football head.
do you
3/8
put a
ounce.
Ned into angler as a Ned, as a jig, or do you put it in as the soft plastic you caught it on?
I haven't caught one on the. I haven't caught anything on a Ned using the angler app yet. I think honestly, what I would do is I would probably list the plastic because I use so many different Ned heads, and I would leave the comment of the Ned
compared to a jig where you would put in the jig and not the trailer. I don't think a Ned classifies as.
So let me ask you a question. I'm gonna blow your mind. What if I told you I only use one plastic for Neds and jigs?
Yeah.
Then you're the type
One
of guy who
style of
doesn't
plastic, one
expand.
shape.
What if
He's
I
saying,
told you I know what that plastic
He'd only
is?
use
and it's
TRD
awesome.
tubes, not the stick, not the craw. Like only one plastic on
One
his-
plastic in two sizes, the same shape for Ned rigs and for jigs. It's a jig to me. They're all jigs. They're just two different sizes.
Is a tube a jig since it has a?
I think a tube is a
They
jig.
actually,
If
when
you
they
put it
first
on a
started,
jig,
they're
right?
actually called tube jigs.
That's
That was
exactly
their first.
why I said that.
People have dropped the jig off them over time, but yeah, it's a tube jig. It's a lead head.
Is the tube jig the best smallmouth bass bait
It's
there is?
dope. I love it. It works
They,
well.
and smallmouth love them.
Drop
Yeah,
largemouth love 'em. Largemouth and smallmouth will devour them.
I haven't had a bite on one yet, but I've finally figured out how to rig a tube weedless and have it actually be weedless. It's been really good, so I'm looking forward to it.
Bobby, you missed out on that early '90s tube phase where everyone was throwing tubes and the shit you would do with them. People, Gitzes, and people were shoving Alka-Seltzer in their asses. I mean, it was just nuts. The tubes too.
In their ass.
Alka-Seltzer in your ass. What's that for? Sounds interesting.
Cody, no.
Another shirt. But yeah, that was a big thing. People were shoving everything into tubes. Like you would if you had broken rubber worms, floating
Elise
rubber worms.
just DM'd me and she said that it was a Swedish beer. It took her right.
Tell her I still want to try those fucking cookies because I bet they're fucking good.
I'll get a care package together. We'll make it worth it. We'll have a little meet and greet at OGO.
All right, I'll hook
a
her
little
up
bake sale. A bake sale.
A bake sale.
Does the Massachusetts Cannabis Commission need to be involved in this bake sale? Do they need to
wasn't
regulate
aware that
it?
was the case of those
Oh,
cookies.
okay.
We'll leave them out of it.
I got people. Who
Hey,
people. Don't
hey,
worry.
you want to hear a funny Rapella story real fast there since we were talking about him?
Hit me with some funny shit.
Hit us with some
All right,
funny shit.
So back in the day, there was a store in Chestertown that's about 10 miles away from me. Just little shit. It's like the it would be like 2 steps below a Kmart called Roses.
Roses.
And, Roses. Yeah.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, they had a solid fishing tackle, small fishing tackle section. And they had a shit ton of Rapalas in there. And me and my buddies used to, teenage, whatever. We used to go in there and just straight rip those motherfuckers off. Just take the motherfucker. We would wear like the shittiest pair of pants and stuff our pockets with full-on open Rapalas out of the box, and then go home, take our pants off, and like cut them out of the fucking pockets. Just straight, fill our pockets as full as you can get them. Well, we got busted
With
one day.
open hooks.
Yeah, we got
Walking
caught.
home like, ow.
We got caught.
You got caught, literally.
We got
Bobby,
caught.
where did you find this guy?
And
You guys are stealing fishing lures, motherfucker. Just go home.
and so we got caught.
Overwater robberies.
Overwater. Hell yeah, brother.
Oh, Jesus.
So we got caught, and Chestertown cops were called, and they're a bunch of dumb fucks. I hate
Oh,
them.
I've been there.
Anyway, oh my God, I heard that Chestertown cops are the worst.
I've been
Anyway,
there.
we're out in front of the store, and you know how they say that shit. Do you have anything on you that's going to poke, cut, blah blah blah? Cut me, whatever. Well, we didn't say anything. Well, one cop sticks his hand, like smashes his hand in my fucking pocket, and you'd have thought he got caught in a fucking bear trap, buddy.
Yep.
And then he made the mistake of like pulling his hand back out.
No.
And he had like 3 or 4 Rapala barbed fucking, treble hooks, just like, he looked like a Christmas tree just dangling off the fucking tip of his fingers and all caught up on his rubber gloves. Yeah.
They don't like to let go either.
No.
Rough.
No. And look, they were caught up in my shit, so he pulled so hard that he ripped them out of my pants, and they dug into him so hard they hung on and came out of material on his fucking hand.
That's insane.
Oh, God. So I went down there and partied because my best friend went to school there in Chestertown, and I went down there. We went out to have a couple drinks, and I pulled a freaking when we went back from the bar, and I probably
what bar did you go to? The Bluebird?
I can't. I don't know. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
Keith would remember. He remembers this story very well, and he lived there. So I banged
dirty.
a Yui on the way back to his house. I banged a Yui like in the middle of the road when there was no one around.
Yeah, there was somebody around.
I banged the Yui and immediately parked, and beep, the Blueies. They were like, "We're gonna have to breathalyze you." I was like, I refused it. So I get to the freaking police station there, and and these guys, the chief of police is a Red Sox fan. And we start geeking out.
That's your out right there.
We became like best buds, and like I left there. I didn't even. I think I like they dropped it to like it wasn't drunk drive. It was like whatever, reckless driving or something like that. It was like nothing.
You got lucky.
Oh yeah, we were like best buddies when I left that place.
So you said you want party May Day where they all get buck ass naked watching
yeah. I did it twice.
Yeah.
That's not the kind of party you go to one time.
No, I hitchhiked from New Hampshire down to Maryland. I partied, and then my best friend's mom and dad were on vacation, and they were driving back up home from Florida, and so they stopped in Maryland and picked me up, so I didn't have to hitchhike home. It was great.
There you go.
It's nothing to write home about. It's a bunch of liberal arts nerds running around. It'd be like me and you running around naked, Bobby. Bunch of fat chicks.
Nelson, I'm with you.
Big hairy bush.
Brother.
Hi, Nelson.
Some of us are into that shit, Cody. That's all I'm saying. I'm not, hey, it's 21.
Whoa. I don't rip Newports. It's definitely Marlboros.
Nick rips Marlbs. All right.
Hey, I didn't rip Newports till I went to prison. So
Black and Milds. Terrible, but mild.
Some cowboy killed him.
Black and Milds. I noticed that. Chris, when you picked up your prize, I was like, this dude's out here ripping a Black and Mild. Look at this guy. Nice. Very nice.
No, I'm bad. Yeah, no, I'm bad.
Very nice. Oh, man.
I wasn't going to smoke on live stream, but once I saw Cody, I was like, all right, fuck it. Yeah. We're not holding back tonight.
You got peer pressured through the internet?
Oh, dude, 100%.
The internet made me do it. Okay, so Lauren, it looks like everybody's starting to check out. Oh,
yeah, I'm getting
Lauren
ready to
says, okay, good night, guys. It was a great time as always. Cody, easy on the fat chicks. We need loving too. You're damn right.
Hey, I love them. More cushion for the pushing. Come on, baby.
I go take a piss and I missed the
more cushion for the pushing.
Wow, I just jumped in at a great time.
You jumped in at the best spot, Todd.
This is the first time I've ever seen Sean head in arms. Like,
Gravy's back.
Gravy's back. That's what I love about this. This live stream's going. People can stop, go, do whatever they got to do, come back and go like, let's see what these clowns are up to. It's perfect.
Cody, I just got to say this, Cody. I love interacting with you. You are the greatest.
Yeah,
this is awesome,
I do.
Dude.
Thanks, fellas. I like interacting with you guys. So, because, I'm 47. Like, all my friends are married with kids. They fucking suck. They don't do anything anymore. They don't fish with me. You know what I mean? They just don't do shit anymore. They're at soccer games, football games, acrobats, what the fuck ever. So like, I'm it's me, Derek, and my dog. And I get a little bit of an audience. I go to fuck off. So
you need to.
And Derek's been legally dead for 3 days.
Yeah.
Good God.
Oh God.
And
there you go.
Hey, Lenny.
Oh, dude, that is awesome.
That was in Tokyo, Japan in 2002.
That's awesome.
To
And
be
then
young again,
motherfucker
man.
let me hold his bass, and I was like, "What, dude?
That's amazing, man. That's amazing, dude. Oh, I can't believe that.
That was fucking
Awesome.
unreal, man. That dude was
Unbelievable.
great.
We got it, Chris. We got to have you on the show. We
Hell
got to
yeah,
have you on a
man.
guest spot, man. I'm going to shoot you a link after this, and
There's
you can.
not going to be a
schedule
lot of
spot.
fishing talk. It's going to be about fucking.
Actually, you know what?
Across the globe.
It better be about fishing
Well,
talk.
we'll work it in, but we're going to talk metal.
I might just let Sean run this sucker, and I'll just enjoy it, and I'll watch from the sidelines. And see
It's gonna be like that SNL skit. It'll be like, Chris, you went to Japan with Motorhead and Slayer. He'd be like, yeah, and I'll be like, remember that? He'd be like, yeah. I'll be like, that was awesome.
I remember when one of my dudes came down to the bar in one of the hotels with a tooth missing, and he was crying and a glass of whiskey. I said, "What happened?" He's like, "I don't know. I think I killed him."
What?
Oh,
wow.
Well, okay, right on, man. Where am I? What the fuck is going on?
Where the hell are we?
Where are we? It smells like fish and plastic as soon as I get off the plane. It was the weirdest thing ever.
She never made cookies.
No, I'm not even kidding. I'm like, just
Never made
the
the
ocean. It smelled like the ocean and plastic.
Elise, you're great.
It was wild. It was fucking wild. I had a guy in a business suit stop me on the way to the Makuhari Chiba arena where we were playing.
Yeah.
Right? So it was me and the other dudes in Today is the Day. And he stops us like, halt. And I'm like, okay. Guy looks like he's in a business suit. He's got glasses. He's got a briefcase.
You never know
what's going on. And he's like, "Are you Chris the Body?" And I'm like, "Am I on candid Japanese camera?
Yeah.
Why do you know
How
who
weird is
How do you fucking know who I am?" And he kneels down and he opens up his briefcase and spins it around, and he had all of our albums, all of them.
That's
wow.
And he wanted an autograph.
Japanese super fan, man. That's awesome.
That's fucking great. I'm like, hey, that's the dude who started the band. Like, that guy. He's like, you played on Scène Supérieure. I want this one first. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. No one's
That's
ever gonna believe
amazing,
it.
dude.
This is fucking nuts.
So cool.
And they were awesome. They were some of the most gracious, art-loving, dedicated, craziest people like ever. Like, I vomited. Like, they came out, and I'm setting up my own rig because I've always set my own shit up for years.
Yeah, of course.
Guys come out and give me the X. And I'm like, okay, what's up? And they all come out, like 4 guys with flashlights. Boom, 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 boom. Plug in everything, boom, 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 boom. Give me a bow, step away. And I'm like,
because they know how it's done.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Efficiency.
That's awesome.
And you're gonna do it right, and you have so much honor, it would kill you to like do it wrong for me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, look out there. What's going on? 10,000 people.
Dude, I can't even imagine. I can't even imagine.
And they go nuts while you're playing, and the second you stop, silence.
Yeah.
Because they're listening. If you have something to say, they're respectful. They want to hear it. So all of them, all at once, just silence. Even during Slayer, like, which is crazy. I've never been to a Slayer show where someone was like,
yeah, that's crazy.
Wild.
Wow, this is bizarre, but awesome, super awesome.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Boys, I'm out. I'm getting off.
All right.
Brother Cody.
Oh, wait, hold on. Are you leaving or are you getting off?
Oh, no. Like, just joking.
Damn.
Cody,
Thanks,
thank you,
Cody.
man. Have a great
fellas,
one, dude.
Had a
Take
great
care.
time.
Yeah,
Love you
dude.
guys. We'll see you soon. Thank you.
Always a good time.
Absolutely.
Yep, later.
Bobby, we got to
Now,
find Chris.
how do I go here?
We
We
got
figured it out. Bobby, we got to get Chris the Calendly link.
The who?
Yeah, that's yes.
I don't know who this is. Bless your hearts. It's cool. A bunch of IPA loving middle-aged guys in hats and unkempt beards.
Okay, first of all, I don't
shave.
love fucking IPA. I
fucking
think
hate it.
IPAs. I think IPAs. I'm like Bill Burr.
I'm drinking whiskey.
Just have
I like an IPA.
really fucked up names.
When I grow a beard and it's unkempt, I get accused of being elderly. I shave. Thank you, whoever that was. Bless their heart.
The only two people with unkempt beards.
I got accused of being. I got offered an elderly discount.
I feel like that was an attack on me, you, and Bobby.
Yeah, well, Bobby's is pretty kept.
I try to keep it maintained. I try.
Right now.
Bobby looks good with a beard.
It out.
Oh, Bobby looks much better with a beard.
You COVID it out
on my beer.
Let me get nuts.
I haven't had my hair this long, and I can't tell you how long.
Dude, me too. Me too.
That is not a problem I have.
That's why the hat's on.
There you go.
Yeah, I can't not wear.
I'm not logging a fish. I forgot to take this off.
So, Bobby, I've found, dude, I put mine on my life jacket, my bullseye. It's awesome because I used to wear it on my hat, and dude, I'd always forget it. And then you get the random people at the bar like, "Oh, what is that on your hat?" Like, you really don't want to get into that conversation. So
they're the same. They're the same people.
You talking about the
move to me?
No,
I have the lanyard. Yeah, exactly. The angler app, the bullseye. I have a lanyard that I keep like a line cutter and braid shears and stuff on, and I'll usually put it on that. But I'm like, it has a clip. I'm like, I'm gonna throw it on my hat. That way, it's out of the way. I'm not gonna bump it and accidentally.
Life jacket strap is the way to put that.
That's not a bad idea.
You catch the fish.
What is it?
Fish, and you get to be like, yeah. You know?
So Ellie owns this company, the Pro Agency LLC. She's been working on her beard. Good for you, Elise.
A conversation. We're back to it again.
Good for you. I love it.
I can hear
was that the angler on? Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was the bullseye. It was the bullseye.
Becca's
Lauren, I didn't even notice it was there.
It's her screaming.
What's that?
What's screaming?
And I said Becca's editing in the background, and like you could just hear us like cheering and screaming.
What's your YouTube?
Mine's Fishing Grubs. My last name's Grubs. Yeah, my last name's Grub. So I just put a Z at the end of it.
Yep, just throw a Z at the end of it. Great stuff. Go back.
Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah.
Go back a while. I mean, some of Todd's videos that I love the most are the fishing fails because he's like what he puts it all out there. Like his videos are awesome, and like he wears his emotions on his sleeve. I can appreciate that. Oh, so good.
Dude, that picture of you with that fucking monkfish is forever embedded in my brain. Like it's just so fucking badass. Picture.
We gotta schedule. I want to do a charter on the. So Todd works on a fishing boat. He does on a party boat, and I want to organize some kind of a jigs and bigs like listener saltwater trip. Where everybody goes. Even my wife. I told her that.
Dude,
she's
let's do it.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome. I think we could probably fill it with listeners and just people, jig heads, everybody, and it just could be absolutely sick.
Nelson on there. Nelson used to be on the charter boat.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I spent some time on the charter boat out in Long Island.
Oh, that's dope.
I've got one charter boat experience.
Which one? Like the Montauk Star or something?
Nope.
No. It's at a cap tree.
Go.
Niantic, Connecticut on the My Joy 2.
Oh, look at that.
And that's where I caught my very first ocean fish. And it was a striped bass.
Oh, dope.
I was 12 years old. I was out with my cousin, my grand uncle, and my cousin's father. And I got hooked into a striper, and it went under the boat. And I didn't know what the fuck to do. And I was like, oh my God, I got a fish. And there's like 20 people around me going, oh, all right. Well, I'm like, what do I do?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, you need the gaffer. And I'm like, get the fucking gaffer over here. And they're like,
yelling like it's wicked tuna.
I'm like, I got a fucking big one. Get over here.
It's a baby whale, Jay.
It's a fucking baby whale. Jay, he looks hurt. He looks hurt. We gotta help him, Jay.
He's hurt.
So
what the fuck is that? Dude, we gotta call the aquarium.
My girlfriend at the time, her niece and nephew were doing a charter boat as like a field trip. So they asked me to be a chaperone on it.
Nice. Okay.
Dope.
Oh man.
Dude, let me tell you, that was one of the worst times of my life.
Oh no!
I believe it.
You were gonna say it was awesome.
It was at a captree. The people knew me, so I kind of like had to handle the back of the boat. Dude, I had guys who were like 47 hooking into porgies, like, "Oh, can you unhook this for me?"
You have no
And
idea.
I'm like, dude, come on. I got 27 kids here. Like, you're 40 something. You can't fucking grab a fish. Like,
it's bad. It gets bad.
Dude, it was miserable. You were untying knots like you wouldn't believe.
Like so if you talk to me like 2 years ago when I'd like backlash or get a tangle, I'd be like, I kind of get like a little bit like a little butthurt and you know, when you get like that and you get flustered, they get to you, the tangle's just
Unscrambled Todd, I need this
I had
advice.
the worst like tangles and backlash, and I just don't give a fuck anymore. So I just like I'm so much more calm and like all of the like anxiety I used to get from untangling like when I had to untangle shit is gone now. It's gone. And it helps me.
I have all this to look forward to on Saturday when I use my new bait caster for the very first time ever. It's gonna
be fun. That'll be fun.
Chris, before you do it, give me a call. I'll teach you how to tune it in real quick.
My buddy Jerry, who was on earlier, he lives right next door, and he's like pro striper fisherman.
Gotcha.
Which is lucky, and a hardcore music fan, which I don't even know how I lucked out on that for a neighbor, because it's
awesome.
And he's the same age.
That's
so he's
awesome.
like, dude, come over. He's like, I'll give you some mono backing line. We'll put that braid on that you got. He's like, you'll be good to go.
I just spooled up my new reel from OGO today.
Nice. What do you got? Is that a Corrado?
No, it's the Lewis Speed
Spool.
Speed Spool.
Oh yeah,
nice.
Picked that up from OGO.
The Hypermag. About a Hypermag. It weighs 5.4 ounces, which to me, that's insane. If I want to get into jig fishing, I'm looking for real sensitive, real light, and I want to be able to do it for a long time without burning out because my ass is old.
See, that's my new chatterbait reel. It's on the speed stick loose. Dude, the vibration off that is crazy.
Is that the one you were talking about, Sean, or was that the Carbon Fire?
I buy those Carbon Fire rods. So
I just
I buy. Yeah, they're for the value. They're for the price. The value is incredible. Yeah, they've been extremely durable. So I'm on year 3 of using the same first set I bought. I will say this: the spinning rods, I've broken 3 of them. I don't know how that's possible. It should be the same blank, just flipped over.
Right.
And I've broken 3 of them, medium heavies, and I don't know how that happened.
That's how long I've had this rod. You can't even read what the action and stuff on it is anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, loose stuff just holds up.
Yeah.
It does.
Yep.
It really does.
I have one like a 610 speed stick rod that I don't use for a whole lot, but it's a great rod. I've had it for like 4 years now, and it's almost like brand new. I mean, it was the bait casting rod I used early on, and I've since kind of put it to the side. But I did pick up a Mach 2 spinning reel, and I love that reel.
Yeah,
I think it's the first lose reel I've ever used, and it's great.
Yeah.
So the speed stick for a chatterbait rod, man, the vibration on the tip is insane. Like how skinny the eyelids get and how sensitive the tip gets on that. You really feel when those fish just come up and take it.
Yep.
How the vibration just.
Are you talking about micro grinds? Because I bought for my first casting rod, I bought from Joe.
Yep.
a 6 cents ESP, 7'3" heavy action.
Okay.
And I read in the description, I'm reading it, I'm like, okay, it has medium guides. Because I wasn't sure about micro.
So that's like a Chris. It's like a hybrid. So micro.
They look like
is
micro.
The first guide.
This
is the first guide on it, and then like the last 4. Let's see if I can get this right. The last 4 are like micro, like that.
Yeah. When you see micro guides, you'll know it because they're like you're like, are you kidding me? Small,
micro guides
like
are almost impossible to even use braid with. They're so small. Like braid does not go through well. Yeah.
Even
no, not even a liter. No, period. So I used Falcon micro guides for years, and I experimented with using braid for them, and I had no good things to report on that. It was all fluorocarbon or mono.
Okay.
It's not smooth enough to pass through them like smoothly. You know what I mean? It just catches.
Using Power Pro on my spinning rods for like at least 8 years, and when I bought the braid for the bait caster, I went with a smoother, a Sunline braid, like a smoother coating. I'd read a bunch of bad shit about the Power Pro Max Quattro with the thinner diameter and not being as strong. So I'm gonna give this shit a shot.
I like the Berkeley.
I only
heard about the Berkeley.
P-line.
P-line's great. I like the Berkeley X9. I really enjoyed this past year frog fishing.
That's all I throw. Actually, that I just spooled up.
Are you guys talking fluoro or are you talking braid?
Braid.
I'm talking everything. I'm braid everything. That I just showed you. I just spooled up with this.
This is my go-to for braid. Reaction tackle.
I'm going to be putting that black on one of my other rods.
That no fade black is amazing. I just picked up some chartreuse high vis for the new spinning combo, the medium light I'm picking up, and these are for the entire family's spinning combos. This is high vis orange 20 pound. Yeah, 20 pounds. So like everybody's going to get theirs done with reaction. But I mean, this is my thing. I always kind of feel there's a sort of a saying out there that braid is braid. The only difference with braid is the sound. And that can be an issue for some people when you're trying to fish. I've used reaction. I haven't had any issue. I also love Suffix 832. Like I love Suffix 832 for braid. But I've that's usually where I put like the measure mark to find out if it compares. I've used the Guggen stuff. It's great too. It's like, but braid, you can buy a braid that you really like and you can keep it on that spool for a ridiculous amount of time.
Yeah.
It holds up. Yeah. Fluoro, different animal,
Yeah.
Well, hold on. Fluoro, you should be able to keep your fluoro a lot longer as long as you're not cutting it off. I mean, fluoro lasts a hell of a lot longer than mono. Mono, you've got to change regularly because the sun affects it.
I refuse to use mono.
So
I don't use mono a whole lot except for leaders.
I keep it on one rod, and it's the rod I use. I use it for backing.
I use it for backing and for leaders. That's all I use.
Floating jerk bait because braid is too much for it, and fluoro will sink. So, and it's funny, the stupidest freaking mono available that I use. You can get like 1,500 yard spools of Berkeley big game. Yeah, like precision wound, none of that shit for like $5 or $6 at Walmart. And that's all I use because for one reason, pickerel have a problem going through it. That's it. Because pickerel go after those damn floating repellers too.
Right.
And that's it. I keep one rod dedicated to that. And I'm pretty minimalist. So that says a lot. And then I have one rod with braid for frogs. And then the other 3 rods I have two bait casting, 1 spinning. The spinning rod has 10-pound Seaguar and Vizex on it. My crankbait / chatterbait / spinnerbait rod has 15-pound, and my jig rod has 20. I cannot describe accurately why I trust that Seaguar. I guess the best thing I can say is my personal best largemouth. What?
The yellow, the
Invisex.
So I was using there's one that's a notch above, but it's way too rich for my blood.
The Tatsuo.
Yeah. So the Invisex, I used 20-pound in Oklahoma, and I've described my buddy's pond there because he filled it with structure where he had a small little valley with a stream and dammed the whole thing up and cut 100-something trees down. Just cut down a valley's worth of trees in it. And then there was scrub brush that got flooded as well.
Yep.
So the biggest bass I've ever caught in my life was an 8.4, and I pulled it out of what was the equivalent of about 10 Christmas trees. I pulled it out of that.
That's awesome.
With
a 20-pound fluoro?
On 20-pound fluoro.
God
with a,
bless you, dude.
With a no 25 with the Invisex with a
yeah.
He was shitting Almond Joys the whole time.
Well, yeah, it was bad. I've been really nasty Almond Joys, and then I had that was where I used a micro guide. It was one of my Falcon. Let me think of the model.
I used one of those Falcon rods. I think one time they were really nice.
It was a Falcon micro guide. It was a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah,
and I got them there because they had the micro guides for some reason. It was a 7-foot medium heavy because I didn't ship all of my rods down there, just a couple of medium heavies, and a fast reel, and I lit that place up. Once I was taught how to effectively use a jig, to get it out of that with that line was nothing short of amazing to me. So I've
liked figuring shit out on my own as far as like the freshwater fishing. It's been like the whole even reason why I even got back into it was my wife's dad. We vacation up in New York. They got like a little cottage up there on a lake. And he's like, son, why don't you just come out fishing with me? Why don't you relax? Because I'm always working. I'm always stressed out. And I'm like, all right, Pop. I'm like, that sounds good.
Yep.
And we go out there and I didn't catch shit, and I had a rod that my boss gave me at work because all the guys in my machine shop were avid fishermen. They're like, why don't you come out fucking fishing? And I'm like, because I'm fucking busy.
Yeah.
Or I'm fucking playing guitar. And
exactly.
I'm like, maybe I need to fucking chill out a little bit. Maybe I need to, because I grew up fishing. I grew up crabbing. And I forgot how much I really liked it. And I went out there with him. And I had a blast. I didn't catch shit. And I had a blast. And then the next day, I was like, I'm going to go drive down to Bob's Bait and go check out some lures. And I bought my first lure, a Challenger jointed minnow.
Yep.
And I brought it back and I was like, Pop, this thing looks cool. It looks like one of these things I saw swimming around in here. And he's like, yeah, son, it looks like wounded. He's like, throw it. And I'm like, all right. And I threw it and I caught a pickerel. And I was like, okay. And I threw it again. I caught another pickerel. And I caught a bass on it. And I'm like, this is fucking great. Like, this is wild. What are they thinking? Like, what am I doing? He's like, I don't know. You're out fishing me now. God damn it. I'm like, all right, well, let's get into this. And the next day, I just was practicing casting, throwing at the dock, the neighbor's dock, and I kept breaking off my Senko. I bought a pack of, the guys at work said, buy Senkos. You just need Senkos and 20-pound power pro. You're fine. 3-aught hook. I'm like, all right, cool. So I kept losing the worm, and I'm like, I keep getting hung up. I keep getting snagged or whatever. He's like, just keep tossing it. I tossed it like 3 or 4 more times, and then I finally hooked into my first bass. And I was like, well, shit, I got a bass. And I bring it in. He's like, nice catch. And it was like 1.5 pounds. And I was like, this thing's fucking off. Look at the mouth on this thing.
Yep.
God damn, apex predator of the lake. Right on. And he's like, well, you got to eat it. It's your first one. And I was like,
no.
How do they taste? He's like, I don't know. I've never eaten a bass.
What time of the year was it?
You're the cook in the family, so he's like, cook it up. And I grilled it, and I thought it was a bit soft and a bit swampy, a little bit. But the funny thing was, when I cut him open and I gutted him and I cut open his stomach, I found all of my Senkos.
Oh, no kidding. Nice.
Oh, he had swallowed like 4 of them.
So let me ask you guys, since we're all avid fishermen, not when did you start fishing? Because we all started fishing when we were young. When did you get hooked on fishing?
2012.
When did it become
after that bass? After that bass, the next day I went out and I hung out in the middle of the lake in the rain, smoking a joint by myself, and I had a 7-inch Senko on. I bought a bigger worm. I went, oh man, I'm gonna get a bigger worm. I'm gonna get a bigger fish, and I dropped it. And I sat out in the middle of the lake. I'm chilling, blowing the fish whistle.
Nice.
And my rod goes, And I'm like, oh, I caught a fucking tire, dude.
Yep.
Oh, man. I'm like, what is that, a tree down there? And then it just goes. And I'm like, what the fuck? What is that? What? Oh, what is that, dude? 15 minutes of what is that with the line going under the boat, swimming around, and then he comes up on his side. And I went, dude, what are you, dude? Oh, it's me, a 36.5-inch pike. What's going on, dude?
Crap.
And I netted him with this little net, and I put him in the boat, and I put the oars over him because I didn't even know what he was flopping around, and he was huge. And I was like, what the fuck is that? Oh, what do I do now? I don't even know what to do. Like, that's the biggest thing I've ever seen. And I brought him back, and here's the sad thing is that he died because I brought him back to show everybody because I was like all excited. I'm like, oh my God, they're never going to believe this. And I brought it back, and my niece is on the deck, and she's like, what's in that? How many fish are in that net? And I'm like, 1. And she's like, what is that? I'm never going swimming in the lake again. If that's in there, I'm like, he wouldn't give a shit about you. He'd never hurt you.
So
and,
that's
that's my favorite fucking picture.
Everybody has that moment.
That was that dude.
Dude, that's a
awesome
bucket list pike right there.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yep.
And I've been on the hunt. I cooked him. I got 5 beautiful fillets off that fish. The entire family ate that fish.
Pike's good.
Entire family ate that fish.
Pike is tasty.
And I've been on the hunt for a fish that big for 8 years in that same lake, and I've come kind of close at 27 inches, but I've never seen another one that big. So I don't know if I killed the spawning granddaddy of that lake, then I'm fucking cursed.
So
that's terrible.
Bobby, what's your story?
So my story is a good one. So I got into fishing in like 2012, and I hustled and I was trying to learn new baits, and I caught some fish on baits I had never used. Like first time catching, fish on artificial baits. It was crazy. But I wasn't really like putting them in the boat at all. Like it was a lot of frustration. Then it got to the point where I was just like, hey, I'm done. At least for a little while. I'm done. I put it down. There's a really good story on our Patreon. You guys can check it out. Almost murdered my best friend on Quabbin Reservoir during this because I was a moron. You know what I mean? And then I one night after trivia, I was having a conversation with one of the guys that heads security. Yes, I host trivia nights that require security. That's just the way Bobby Roast Beef rolls.
Yeah, keep paparazzi away from him.
He and I were talking about experiences fishing and stuff like that, and I was sharing with him the story of why I stopped fishing. I was like, I'm just like, I sunk so much into this, and I'm just not seeing anything out of it. He's like, dude, come on fishing with me. It'll be worth it. First cast. Oh, come on now.
Porn? Oh.
First cast.
Nice.
3.5 pounder.
Okay.
Heavily pressured water. Texas rigged weightless Senko, and just absolutely crushed it. And from there, it was like relapse. I was done. Game on. Have to get out and fish as often as possible. I've broken that year. I beat that fish. What was it? I think I caught a 4 1/4. That year on a jig. That was also the year I learned I like sort of demystified the jig in my mind. And I got on some really, really, really big fish. And then it was after that, I started kind of keeping records that next year. And that's when it was like, okay, so now I'm kind of seeing a pattern. And then it was game on, man. Then it was podcast time. But, that's just how it worked.
So what about you, Grubs? How'd you get hooked?
When I was a kid, I didn't really fish too much. My dad was like a bobber fisherman. Yeah,
that's how I was.
When I went out with him, I would fucking try and catch shit with my hands because I was didn't want to wait for a goddamn bobber, and there were frogs everywhere and snakes and turtles. And if I could fucking catch it, I was going to catch it. And I'm still like that. Like if I see a turtle, I fucking grab it. Like any snapper, I don't give a shit. Snake, I'm like, oh my God. And I'm still like that. But you know, I also was a swimmer my whole life. So I've always like competitively always been in water. Like water and me are like one, you know, like if I'm near water, I feel good. So I was teaching my daughter how to swim, and my buddy was fishing. And we were at like one of my favorite bodies of water to swim in. And I was like, dude, there's fish in here. He's like, this place is loaded with bass. And this place that I'm talking about is loaded. Like there's so many bass in there. There's no big bass because there's just so many.
Yeah.
Like you can go have 100 fish day and
Sean, you're gonna have to go there and make some pizzas.
Problem, but like they're all gonna be small breasts. After that, I went and got a rod and reel, and we started like kind of fishing. My ex was doing more of the fishing while I was teaching my daughter how to swim. Every time we went back to the same place, and she started catching fish. And then I went to my buddy's house, and I was like, "Yo, she's catching all the fish. I haven't caught shit." And he's like, dude, we're going to get you a fish today. I was like, cool. Cause I wasn't really putting in any time because I was spending more time trying to teach my daughter like how to float in water. And so, my buddy and I, you know, were on his boat. And I think we were throwing like just like a little inline spinner, and we caught a bluegill. And he took that bluegill and he put that fucker on a hook and he tossed that thing out. And that bobber was out there for about 2 minutes, and it went straight down. And he was like, set the hook, and I fucking set it, and I caught it. It was close to 4 pounds for my first ever largemouth bass. That was it. That was it. It took one fucking fish,
one tussle with Godzilla, and you're like, dude, yeah, man,
changed my whole life.
Yep.
John.
I would like, before I started my channel, which was 6 months after that, I would find any excuse to stop at any body of water and throw a lure. I didn't care what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't really use too much live bait. Although then I started realizing I could throw out like a worm on a bobber and then power fish if I was
at the same time
standing on shore. So because you're allowed 2 lines in New Hampshire. So I did start doing that like in the beginning, like maybe like a couple months in, and then the bite changed in the fall. And then I started looking on YouTube, as anyone does, to figure out what to do. And then I was like, yo, these kids are traveling all over the world fishing for a living and living the dream. I'm like, I fucking love making videos and I love fishing. So let's do this. And it's been nonstop. Are you laughing at Taya?
I am laughing at Taya.
Yeah.
She's not totally on you. She's like, you still do. I can't believe she's still watching this. This is almost 3 hours long. That's awesome, Taya.
Sean, your story?
First off, Nate, I'd like to thank you for your orating as of the past 20 minutes. Just look at you took over.
Get this segment going.
This is an excellent episode of Shags and Biggs.
We're gonna have to bring him on as a segment producer or something like that.
Let's do it.
So when I was growing up, my dad would take us fishing probably once a year, maybe twice a year, and his weapons of choice were some old Zebco push button combos, a small red and white bobber, a small hook, and corn. Man, we used a lot of fucking corn. We caught a lot of bluegills.
A lot of carp.
No, just always bluegills. I don't remember catching any other fish outside of bluegills. And I relayed the story a couple weeks ago, the ocean fishing on Cape Cod at the bridge, where my dad and our friend of the family would get drunk and yell, every time an eel would come up, oh, black mamba, and they would be yelling and shit like that. So we would drop lines off bridges, but
it's a gaboon.
Yep.
It's a viper.
We moved in 1988, and in 1989, we moved in the fall of 1988, and in the spring of 1989, when we had gotten to know some of the neighborhood kids, they were like, "Well, let's go fishing." And I it was a foreign concept to me to go without my dad, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on because there's hooks and shit, right? But we lived that close to the Chicopee River that, you know, it was a quick bit of trespassing through a golf course, and there was numerous spots. There was a log right up against the shore, so that was, of course, the log. Where'd you go today? I went to the log, and then the stream that flowed through the golf course and terminated was the delta, because it was a delta of a stream. So I hit the delta, then the log, and we just learned from there. And then I mean, I don't know, somewhere around that time, I think I was starting to get, I think it was like that summer where my dad had said, you know, we're gonna go fishing at so-and-so's parents' house. And it was an elderly community, and there was a pond there. And I remember him taking us with the rods. And this time I thought I was cool, because instead of the push button combo that we had used for years, I took the reel off, flipped it upside down, and had a spinning reel on there, because I knew how to use a spinning reel. So now I was fucking cool, right? But I remember being at this place, and there was all these little turtles. Of course, we grabbed 4 of them, and the year was 1989. So you can guess their names in the fish tank when we got home.
Yeah, baby.
And
I had a Leo myself.
Yep. We had Leo, Don, Raph, and Michelangelo. So
we had Tina, the Eastern painted turtle.
Yeah. So they were all painter turtles. So what we did was we were out there, we were catching turtles, and I had the bobber out. This time it was not a corn on the hook. It was a chunk of bread. We brought a loaf of bread out there. That's what we were using for bait.
Oh yeah.
And I remember, this is so unusual, but it speaks for, you know, oh, there we go. Cody's saying thank you.
Cody.
Yep.
Cody's awesome.
We had a
Corey,
great time.
You
Cody.
are a gentleman, man.
Yep. So we had thrown the bread out there.
Desperado.
And the amount of bait fish and small bluegills and panfish that were coming up and eating and really swirling around. And then you saw the bread take off because one of them grabbed it and took off, right? Well, we threw another loaf of bread, or another piece of bread out there, rolled up on the hook, and the water exploded, because right in the middle of all those bait fish, about a 17 or 18-inch pickerel went right into the middle of them, trying for the fish, and got the hook. So I remember dragging that thing and going, holy shit. And, you know, I mean, caught a few bass in there before, but that was it. And that was starting of, you know, get your name on the Bass Pro Cat. Yep.
You got on the other end of the agenda of rage, right, Bobby?
I did. So Rick's a friend. His brother-in-law was one of the guys that I grew up learning to fish that way. And yeah, Rick, let me tell you, I really lengthened out that 17-inch pickerel. I mean, that was a trophy. So
trophy.
So yeah, that's when I started. And then it was just, you know, within 2 or 3 years, I had met the dude bud at high school, and we lived, you know, a block away from each other. So it was like, that really upped my game, because his dad taught him to fish, and the things I learned from the neighborhood folks, man, we went nuts with.
How you doing, Becca?
Still watching.
How you doing? I just decided to jump in. How's
no,
it
that's great.
Becca?
She's been editing.
Yep.
It's
we
been
heard.
Good. It's been good.
Timing on the water. Holy shit.
You're on next for the next story, though.
Me?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Let me wrap.
My handle is
Finally got to
CHAGS
really got
29.
like
When I
more
came out of
fishing.
the womb.
Yeah, Becca's been
Yeah.
into fishing, like seriously into it, like literally since she was born.
Go ahead, Sean.
Yeah, let me wrap this up.
Finish
Yeah, so
up,
once I met the dude bud, things were on. That's when we started fishing, like thinking we were fishing competitively.
Yep.
But I mean, there's days where
Dude bud brings that out of you, though.
yeah, he and I would go, you know, we'd be like, hey, what do you want to do? Where do you want to go today? Well, there's a stretch of the Chicopee River that has a ton of smallmouth in it, but there's no access. You'd have to walk upstream, and that water's regulated by a couple of dams. So you could be waist deep, and that dam decided it was going to open. It wasn't on a schedule. It was on floats, you know, and it would just open, and next thing you know, you're up to your chest and you're fucked. And you're walking through
I saw signs up in upstate New York along this fucking river that said warning, water level may change at any time.
So if we got trapped a couple times, there was also one part of the river that if we decided to walk that, there was literally no access on either side. You couldn't get out because it was private land.
And what the fuck do you do? You're fucked.
Yeah, we would walk up to our neck, and then where you exited, and the one place it was safe to exit was gangland in Springfield. We had to call our parents and like, hey, we're up in Indian Orchard, get us the fuck out of here. Yeah, Bobby knows it's bad. Murders all over.
What are you doing there? We're fishing.
Yeah, once me and the dude bud started working it, that was when things really got out of hand, because then we'd be like, hey, let's go fishing for 7 hours. Well, do we want to bring food or water? No, I got a Coke. I got a Pepsi.
Yeah. We're good.
Yeah, you're just horrible, stupid. It's 100 degrees out, fried. We didn't bring sunblock.
Drinking warm Mountain Dew.
But there was
exactly
there was one day we walked the Chicopee River. There was one portion nobody could get at, and you could tell because between the two of us, we put up over 175 smallmouth.
No,
I've never had a day like that in my life.
Dude. Wow.
And all using size 9 floating Rapalas, and I think Kurt for a little while, the dude bud switched to he was real big on those fucking it's a head and lure with a prop on it. The fucking it looks
torpedo.
like it's thank you, a tiny torpedo. He was whipping that around. And between that and that floating Rapala, it was 175 smallmouth between the two of us. The next time we went back and walked that, we had like maybe 100. It just we never reached that again. It was virgin water that nobody touched.
That's what Jerry was telling me about this place that they've now closed off called Baker Pond.
Where at?
They went out one night and they knew where there was this bird. They love to night fish. So they'd be out between like 11 and 3. And like they claimed that this was the best time to fish this water. And they knew where this berm was, this separation. And they said for weeks on end, they would go there and there would be a boil on one side of this berm. And they found that on one side of the berm, the smallmouth were pushing all the bait fish up against the wall. And then on the other side of the wall, the largies were waiting on the other side. And they'd be jumping over and hopping over the fucking berm and boiling over the berm. And the largemouth would just come up and slam. He's like, dude, we bagged 200 fish in 4 hours. I don't even know how it's possible. He's like, every single cat, it was like, whoom, 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 for weeks on end. And then it died. And that was it.
Yeah.
It never came back. Never came back. But it was wild.
The place that I'm talking about actually had on one side of the river, it had a little bit of a drop. So when the water was low, it was like 3 feet deep for most of the river. And then up against this one shore that had riprap as well, it was like 4. So there was a little bit of more current. It was a little deeper. And when the water was low, when the dam was closed, the smallmouth would stack up in there. And we just, all we did, one side, it was just a little bit of a channel basically on that one side, and that's where all the fish were. And they'd never seen floating Rapalas, and they'd never seen those prop baits. It was nuts. But
so Nate, is it your turn now?
Yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah, Nate.
I know you're the host now, Shags and Biggs.
Hurry up,
Shags and Biggs.
Well, this is what I like. Everybody's got a different story.
Yeah,
mine's a little bit of a darker one. Like, I always grew up fishing,
Hold on, Nate. Are we talking Cody dark, or are we talking
No,
normal person dark?
Normal person
Okay.
dark. So,
Pixar movie.
Yeah,
I always grew up fishing. Like, I still have a lure to this day. I placed in a kids tournament in 3rd place and won a Rapala's like jerk bait, but like was never really big into it. And when my sister got sick, I had already like lost my mom. My sister went into the hospital, and I had a good buddy, and he reached out to me and he was like, hey, like, let's go fishing. Let's get your mind off stuff. And I went out with him. We hit a couple of like local ponds near like Charles River and stuff. And it was when I set into that first bass out there, and nothing else mattered in that 20 seconds of setting that hook and getting that fish to it that had me hooked. And then, I went to New York. I worked on the boats and stuff. And what really got me hooked on tournaments was I came back and the guy told me like, hey, you should try it out. And I had just moved back and just loved to fish for myself. And I joined an MAKB April challenge. Mm-hmm. And I went out and I tied for 3rd. I technically placed 4th. Bruce took me with biggest fish. But it was just like nothing else, hooking into a big fish and knowing it mattered for something else. And that adrenaline rush, that dopamine to the brain, that nothing else mattered. It was so therapeutic to me and really took me off a bad road I was going down. I jumped into it as hard as I could. I joined MAKB in 2018. I joined KBF in 2018. I traveled from state to state fishing KBF tournaments, and it just really gave me a sense of home, and the people I met along the way I've been able to call family. And the second I got hooked, it became the most important thing in my life.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, you're at a campground on the Cape, baked, throwing rocks at raccoons in a tree.
hanging out with strangers and making friendships, And
right on, man.
And that's the thing, man. I've had people that I've met from 2018 on that I consider my brothers. John Ferreira, he was on here earlier. 3X's fishing. That kid, I met him on Lake Agawam in Wareham, fishing a tournament, and that kid's become closer than a brother to me. And just the familyhood and the caringness, it's like nothing else I've ever witnessed, the fishing community.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that really drew me to MAKB too. Once, having fished a couple other different trails, the way Ken really provides that support and structure, I'm happy he allowed, he let me run this on the West. Hopefully I can, if I emulate that even halfway.
I moved in.
I'm not even worried about that at all, man.
So I moved into a new apartment December 1st. I moved in.
Yep.
4 out of the 5 guys that helped me move in were MAKB members. It's so much more than a fishing community.
Yeah.
Just the guys that come together. We've traveled. I mean, like I said, I'm about to go with Ken Wood and Joe DiDeo. We got a 19-hour ride ahead of us to Alabama. We've traveled. We've stayed in houses. Just the community as itself, the way you grow is like nothing else I've ever witnessed.
Yeah. It's insane.
You can leave a sweaty pair of neoprene wetsuit bottoms on a beach at Cape Cod, and an MAKB member will grab them for you. I can attest to this.
Shout out to Gerard.
Shit,
Gerard.
Shout out to Gerard.
Yes, he is.
Gerard is the man. That's the thing about fishing. It's it's cathartic. No matter, whether I know people who fish who are, they own companies and they command these giant salaries, and you would think they have it made, but they use fishing as this cathartic release to kind of connect with nature and escape all that stuff. And I've also met people fishing who have real just general blue collar issues that they're just trying to escape. They're like, this is just it's like the reset button for society. You can escape all of that stuff, even if it's just for a little bit until you catch that big ass fish, and then you're like, okay, cool, we can go back and then deal with some more bullshit, and then I got to come back and catch another one.
It was like today, I almost flipped. I had that scary moment, but then I got into the spot I wanted to. I saw 2 bald eagles flying around the lake, set into 22 fish. A day like that, it's just you can't explain it. Just how calm you come feeling home. To me, on the water is my home. My mother always said it before she passed. The water is her happy place, and I honestly think she passed that down to me.
Yep, definitely, man.
It's church.
Definitely.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, I freaking love it. All right, where's Becca? We need her story.
Becca.
We need her story. Come on.
Bobby wants your story.
We want her story. What is
Chris
that
has
fish?
To pee.
Hold on.
Bobby, I'm going to be ducking out after Becca's story because
me too. I'm gonna wrap it after Becca's story, but I think we need Becca's story.
Yeah, we could have almost wrapped on Nate's. That was a very ending.
That was a great one.
I mean,
Becca's
so like I said, it's darker than most.
No, but
that wasn't dark at all.
Fishing saved my life, man, if we're being honest.
Honestly, I think that's a story a lot of people would benefit to hear.
I don't think there were any elements of the Cody slot machine in that story, so I think it was not dark at all.
No, it's a home run.
I gotta say,
Grand
shout
slam,
out
really.
to Cody. He just lit up my Instagram.
Yeah, he
by
did.
the way, but
He is very enthusiastic. So Becca, we're talking about like that catch that changed it for you. Like, what was it? Tell us about the catch when you were like, "This is what I want to do." Like, to walk us through that. She's caught some fish.
Yeah,
she's been in it though since she was like fucking.
Yeah, she was an infant. She was a Similac kid.
You sit down and shoot the shit with her dad, you'll be like, "Oh my god, I know exactly why."
You just get it. Yeah,
exactly why you are who you are, because he's the fucking man.
Yeah,
he's a great. He's not like a Becca fishing, but he spent most of his time in the salt water.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's a beast. The dude's a beast.
So what was that fish that kind of did it for you? That was like, this is what I wanted to experience. The one that you remember first.
Caught that catfish.
No.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have so many different fish stories. Like, I think Block Island was like a place that influenced me like crazy because I grew up on Block Island in the summers. But besides that, I mean, like the biggest bass that I caught, I kind of hate how it happened, but I would have to say that influenced me the most, even though I hate the story.
But now we got to know you can't set us up like that and leave us hanging.
She discredits herself, and she shouldn't.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't think it was a well-deserved catch, and I hate counting it as my biggest bass ever, just because I don't feel like it was fair at all.
Okay.
So my buddy, I'm not gonna say if he caught it in a private body of water or public or legal. I'm not gonna give out any information like that.
Well, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Totally. He went to a public body of water and caught a like high 7 whatever bass, and then he has a pond in his backyard. He put the bass in his backyard pond and he raised the bass, hand fed it, whatever. I come in. I'm like fucking 9 years old. I throw out a night crawler, leave it on the bottom, and I catch an 8.3 because he grew. Yeah, I know. I see the.
That'll do it, though.
I know.
I mean, let's
definitely do it.
Let's be honest. At 9 years old, oh my god,
what's wrong with that?
That is a fish that is a pound for nearly every year of your life. Yeah, that'll do it. Come on, Becca, that's awesome.
So dope.
Yeah,
she discredits herself, and it's like I think it's dope.
I mean,
that's bigger than any fish I've ever caught.
Oh yeah.
Well, like I barely remember it. Like I don't have any pictures. I have a brain memory of it, and that's it. Like like that 6-pounder that I caught today. Like like I was there. I'm gonna remember that it was on video. I have pictures. I was with my friends. I wasn't.
That's true.
9 years old and whatever.
Yep.
So yeah, that's the story.
I think that's how it is for a lot of us. Like, no matter what your PB is, like every fish of substance matters.
Oh,
every time you catch a fish that's got
every fish matters.
Yeah, it's true. Like, I mean, I even love the dinks. You know what I mean? Like, like especially when I'm throwing
nibblers can turn a bad day to a good day.
They can. I would catch 100 nibblers all day. I'd be okay with that, But it's like
you got a rough day at work, you hit it for 2 hours after, and you catch a good amount of nibblers. Work. Fuck it, it's over.
Yep, exactly. An 8-inch smallie will like change your week if you've had a shitty week. You know what I'm saying? You're just like, oh snap!
Smallie fucking fights.
Absolutely. They'll kick you in the
I've
ass.
caught 2 smallie, and I think the biggest one was about 6 inches.
I got spoiled with smallmouth. I caught like the first smallmouth I ever caught was a 2.5 pounder.
Oh yeah.
And it was a chatterbait bite. It was like fought like a motherfucker. It was awesome. And I'm like, so this is my PB smallie. Okay, this is what we're doing. It was only last spring. That's when it was.
PB smallie on freaking a live shiner ice fishing.
So
really?
My PB weight smallie was at the Mesalonsky Super Trail in KBF, and
Becca's calling it a night. She's got to get up early.
Dude, we had just launched.
4:30, baby. I'll be up.
It was like 3 casts into the day. My buddy who I drove up to Maine with, Rob Harnish, was still unloading. And I set into like an 18.5-inch small, or 18 3/4-inch smallie, but it was like 4.5 pounds. Like, it was fat, dude. And I'm yelling at him at the boat ramp, and I'm like, dude, biggin'. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And I catch it, and I hold it up, and I see him. He's still getting his rods on the boat. He goes, dude, fuck you. I'm like, no, seriously, I need a photo. And it was awesome. I wound up winning the golden hour big bass, and I made $100 off the PV smallies.
That's awesome, dude.
It was,
biggin'.
dude, it is in my length PB. But, dude, when I set into that thing on a chatterbait, it just stopped. And I was like, oh, fuck.
There is no feeling better.
It's a baby whale, Jay. It's a baby whale, Jay.
This past summer, during our trip out to Cape Cod, our first one in June. So I had my 12-year-old in the other boat, and he'll get out there and he'll throw a few casts. He doesn't have like the longevity of getting out for hours and hours, but
same with my son.
Yeah. So yeah, we paddled across this lake, and he's like, where, he's bitching about the paddle. I'm like, look, we'll get there. There's a point I want to fish it submerged. I think there's going to be fish around it. So the whole way there, I'm seeing the arcs on the fish finder, and I'm like, all right, they're either trout or smallmouth. We'll figure it out when we get there.
Yep. And
I was retying, and he had a Ned rig on. He threw that out, and like second cast, he goes, Dad, I got one. And I go, well, we're kind of deep. We're only like 20 feet of water. I wonder if it was a trout or something. And all I see is this black fish come rocketing out. Nice fish, Nate.
That's a piggy, dude.
This black fish come rocketing out and go airborne about 2-3 feet, like to where he was looking up at it. And I go, holy shit. I go, set the hook. It's a good smallmouth.
Yeah.
So he got it in, and Bobby, you've seen that picture. It's the only smallmouth I've ever seen that was pure black with red fins. I've never seen a smallmouth look like
it's
that.
It's a really unique looking.
It was
it's a Slayer
black.
fish.
It is. It had an upside down pentagram turned into it. But yeah, I've never seen a smallmouth look like that. And all the ones I caught from that lake going forward were standard, tiger stripes, but that one was pure black with red fins. I've never seen that, but it was a smallmouth. So that fish was 17 3/4, probably went about 3 pounds. I don't weigh anymore. I just know from average that's about
now
where it's
you
going to be.
guys go by. Here's the thing I haven't understood. When did you guys start going by length and not pounds?
So
when you started
when you start kayak competitive fishing, pounds don't matter. And then on top of that, for
we
10
ain't
years,
got live wells. It all goes by length.
Yeah, for 10 years I kept both. So when I started looking, like there's a range, like, you see sometimes like there's some tournament organizations that'll have like in one particular, I know there's one of the guys that fishes in KBF who also fishes in Virginia, but there's no kayak leagues around him. So he'll fish with the big boats. So he doesn't have a live well, and there's a conversion table, and the conversion table is so out of whack. Yeah, yes. So there's a catch board. So the conversion table is so out of whack because you can have such a wide range of weight for a 17-inch fish, an 18-inch fish, whatever. So when I started looking at all my data of these thousands of fish that I've caught, and every one I've weighed for years, and then I measured. Yeah. I don't trust the weights, because you buy these any digital scale, no matter if it costs $10, $20, or $1,000. Number one, it eventually drifts. Number two, if you haven't had it certified, it's not even going to be the same as the guy next to you. You don't know with a scale. A ruler doesn't change.
And the other thing too, like the one thing that Sean kind of like got me hip to very early on is that when you're measuring length of fish, it's the only linear measurement you can have all year round. So you'll know the quality of a fish based on its length, no matter what time of year it is. But based on the time of year, that fish's weight can fluctuate significantly based on what it's doing. Sure. So, weight is important. Like, I'm a big replica guy. You'll notice I have none behind me, but I'm hoping to change that this year. But the idea is like, for me, that length measurement, that girth measurement, and also the weight gives the person doing the replica the best information they can have to create an accurate depiction of the fish you caught.
Yep.
You know, so it's like it's all important, but yeah, Sean makes a really good point.
And I saw, like I said, I certified scales for a large number of years when I was in the military doing my job. It was just one of my secondary duties, and you saw good scales drift all over the place. You saw cheap scales. It didn't matter. And then
never weigh a fish.
Half of those
same thing I say every day.
You weigh a fish when you're on a boat, it's not going to be the correct weight. You have to be on shore.
Actually, that's a really good point. Yeah,
Half
no
of those
way. You
half of those scales, when you tilt them, it'll give you a different reading. Like if you tilt it left, it'll be lighter. If you tilt it right, it'll be heavier.
what I'm saying is it's very fallible. So I don't use scales anymore. I have a good idea with the data I kept, but I stopped worrying about weight, 5 years ago, maybe more. I just, it's not important.
If I catch one over 7 pounds, I'll weigh it. If not, I really don't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, weight's a good gauge for like when to give people an idea of how large a fish is, but you know, length is just. I feel like it's if I catch a giant in July, I don't want to feel like I'm missed out. You know, what that's exactly it. It's like, oh yeah, I caught this monster in July. It's a 21-inch fish. It was completely emaciated. You know, at that time of the year, you know what I'm saying? But it's like this is still really a trophy as far as your history as an angler.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, boys,
gentlemen, it's getting about that time. I love you guys too. This is amazing. This was an amazing live stream.
Oh, the stretch and the young. God damn it!
Is anybody still watching this shit?
There's still 5 people on. 5 people on.
You 5 people are made of iron.
Go to bed, you fucking degenerates.
Iron and brimstone. Go to bed.
3.5 hours. Fuck me. Who's still?
I don't know. I don't know who it is, but it sounds like Cody passed out at some point, and then
Cody.
Jerry Howes jumped in.
My Instagram. He's still alive over here.
I'm gonna give you guys Cody's last comment. So he asked Nate about following on Instagram. He says, "Roger that. Just sent you a friend request." This comes from out of nowhere. Tiny torpedo.
Torpedo.
Hang on, stand by. It gets better in perfect Cody fashion.
He's lying.
And then Jerry jumps in and says, "Great conversation. Have a good night, everybody." Guys, this was absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for doing this. This is really great.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you guys, man.
This is the best St. Patty's Day I've ever had. You know, and I live in Holyoke. That says something, man.
Some Chicopee
shit. Some Chicopee shit right there.
Well, for you guys who are on the eastern side of the state, because nothing exists past Worcester, Holyoke is the home of one of the biggest St. Patrick Day parades in the country. Yeah.
Yep. Number 2.
So it's
second year in a row it's not happening.
Right. They're bummed, man.
They're pissed. We lost a lot of money this year and last year. Ugh.
Yeah.
But c'est la vie, man.
My friend owns a bar in Southie, and she is fucking hating it.
Agenda of rage, I'm sure.
2 years in a row. Sucks.
Angrier than a pickerel hitting bread.
Oh!
All righty, guys. On that note, have a great night. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, all you guys, for watching.
Guys, take it easy, man.
Have yourselves a